Welcome into the CHGO Bears postgame show. I know
Let's go!
what everyone is thinking, and that is Phil Snow, the greatest hire in the history of any NFL franchise ever.
You know, you guys slept on Snow when he came in here, and I said that guy was going to transform this defense, and I told you that the Bears are going to win today. Let it snow. Let it snow. Extend Justin Fields. Extend Matt Eberflus. This is in the hunt. Never say die. Greg Braggs is still screaming at Jaquan Brisker. Bears win.
Okay. First of all, you did not say the Bears were going to win.
I did not.
You picked the Lions.
I did.
You picked the
I picked
Lions.
the Lions.
You picked the Lions. I picked the Bears.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, hey, credit to you.
It's
Big
good
of
job.
you.
I was sitting there this morning literally thinking I wish I had picked him, but I didn't, and you did, so congratulations.
In all seriousness, what a big win. Adam Hoge, Mark Carman, Greg Braggs Jr. There's what a ride that was, first of all. I mean, that was the full Justin Fields experience. You had the amazing, you had the annoying, you had the how many throw the ball yells by me today? Probably 10. But I mean, they still made enough plays. We got to talk about the 4th and 13. Obviously, there were adjustments in this football game.
Yep.
The defense balled out again. That's been an ongoing storyline that continued. That's a real offense they played today in the Lions too. And essentially,
Are we sure about that?
well, it was until they played the Bears a few weeks ago, and then the Bears broke them. The Bears. This is what we should. This is the postgame show we should have been doing a few weeks ago.
Yep.
And I was prepared to sit there and be like, this is the most impressive win that the Bears have had under Matt Eberflus easily. And then they blew it, and then we were talking about another collapse. So at the very least, credit to the Bears, credit to Matt Eberflus, credit to Justin Fields. They did what they had to do. Credit to the defense especially to finish this game and get what is easily the biggest win under Matt Eberflus on a day he absolutely needed it.
That was the Lions' loss in Detroit was more of a dynamic. Like if they had finished that game, that was more of like a dynamic, astounding game the way they had played that day. Today was just a methodical ass whooping. Like as we were talking, like we weren't really going crazy at the end, but it's crazy to say about a team that has never won back-to-back games in the Matt Eberflus era, but halfway through the third quarter, it just felt expected. They were the better team out there, and they just methodically kicked their ass as the game went on, and to the point where the Lions really had no answers at the end.
Well, let's go big picture for a second here. Look, the Bears were 0-4. The Bears had lost games that they should have won. The Bears had no ability to get to the quarterback. And Ryan Poles last year traded a second-round pick for a guy that he thought could possibly help the offense, which turned into a complete disaster. Ryan Poles stepped back up and said, you know what, I'm doing it again because we absolutely have to have somebody who can get to the quarterback because you can't win in the league unless you have that guy. And he went and traded for Montez Sweat, and then there was the whole extension thing, and some were wondering, did he give up too much again? Ryan Poles, I guess the future is the future, but I think it's very easy to say right now, he got that right. It has transformed the defense. They had 4 more sacks today. The back end is thriving right now because balls are coming out earlier than teams wanted to do. That has absolutely changed this football team, which is one of the reasons why I think when you look at the future of the Bears right now, I think you can be pretty damn comfortable that Ryan Poles is going to be making whatever calls are going to happen in the offseason.
Well, it's a team sport. And how do you fairly evaluate the linebackers of the secondary when you're not getting a pass rush? How do you fairly evaluate a quarterback when you don't have a consistent line that's creating a nice pocket for them? They're getting both things. The trenches are starting to really play some football, and now you're seeing the rewards of that. And there's been up and down, like you said. We'll get through the roller coaster of what was today from a quarterback standpoint, but at the end of the day, when the trenches start playing like they do, you're going to be put in more good situations than not.
I mean, the Bears offense is the roller coaster of all roller coasters, but you actually feel like the defense
You have a margin of error.
Right. There's something that you can rely on here, and whatever goes down offensively is just going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm not afraid to say it today. Said it a few times on the Twitterscapes. The Bears can be 8-8 walking into Green Bay with a chance to win 9 games. There is no reason that they cannot. Every game they play is winnable the rest of their schedule. They play like they have the last few weeks since Justin Fields has returned. They can win every game and walk their asses into Lambeau Field with a chance to win 9 games. Why not? The Detroit Lions, who they just kicked their ass today, did the exact same thing last year. And I bet they didn't think there was any semblance of hope when they were 1-7 or whatever they were. It sounds ludicrous. I get it. But they should be 7-6 right now. And I don't think that's a stretch to say. So there isn't a stretch to say that they can beat the Browns with a backup quarterback or the Cardinals or the Falcons. They all suck. Let the Bears win some games here. Put all your predictions and opinions about what's going to happen in the offseason to the side and enjoy this fucking streak. It's exciting. Let's get to 9 wins. Let's get to 8 wins and walk into Lambeau and see what they got.
All right. Well, first of all, I don't disagree with you. But I'm going to take everybody behind the scenes here a little bit. Did we not just like 20 minutes ago have some type of conversation over there where you were like, the crazy thing about this, though, is that everyone's going to be saying the Bears can win out now. Everyone's going to say it. We're 5 minutes in the show and you went on a rant.
Because I feel that way about it. I do. I said that in the pregame show. This team is so unpredictable that it wouldn't have surprised me if they lost out.
So what were you saying over there then? Because you said it there, they're all stealing your thunder? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just giving you the pulse of the fan base.
He's the voice of everyone.
I wasn't saying it was wrong. I said in the pregame show that it wouldn't surprise that they could lose out or win out. That's how unpredictable this team is. But now that they showed you here today, because that's why I didn't have the confidence to pick them to win today, because I wanted to see consistency that they have never shown in the Matt Eberflus era.
By the way, you didn't get consistency today.
Winning 2 games in a row is the definition of stringing together some sort
that game
semblance.
Was like this.
Well, that's football, guys. I mean, you're not going to pitch a perfect game. I don't expect that. There's going to be ups and downs.
Would be baseball.
And then adjustments. Like you said, there were adjustments in this game as well.
Okay. I think we need we'll bring up the Duke here in a second. I think we need a new graphic, though, that says Braggs, the voice of everyone.
Not the voice of everyone. You're
definitely not the voice of the Duke, who's paying $200 right now to shut you up for 5 seconds.
Not possible. Not possible, because I'm going to read it. $199.99 super chat. Where's Don Burr and his big mouth now? Shut up, Don Burr. I don't want to hear any more about the D only producing against backups. It's time to buy into this team. Marvin Harrison Jr. and a center in round 1.
Yeah. Center.
F Green Bay. F Don Burr. Braggs is him. Hoge, Illy.
I love you.
You didn't know it.
Rolling on the floor. Shut up, Hoge. Rolling on the floor with glee. In case you missed it, Bears beat the pants off the Pussycats.
Duke, let's go.
See, he thought he was going to trip me up with all those, but Braggs read it.
He did. The Illy. The Illy threw me off.
I didn't know Illy.
Can we? Where do you want to go? Because I'm going to let you take us somewhere.
Yeah, let's start the show the way we
Meatball Island is back. You're fucking A-right, it is.
Okay. You picked the Lions to win today.
I'm sorry.
You should be sorry.
Happy I'm wrong.
I accept your apology. So does Matt Eberflus.
I'm not apologizing to you. I'm apologizing to you, fine people.
You're apologizing to me, and I accept it. Game ball time. Let's get to our game balls. you know what? I got to hand it to him. No one wants to hear it, and that's fine. But this was the biggest game of Matt Eberflus's career as a head coach. I said it on pregame. It was just a huge opportunity for him. You had 2 weeks to prepare. How are you going to come out, correct the wrongs from a few weeks ago, get 2 divisional wins in a row, get 2 wins in a row just to begin with? This does not mean that everything's cemented and Matt Eberflus is 100% back, but this is exactly what he needed today. You saw the celebration of some of his players after the game, like kind of jumping on his back and stuff like that. Good for him. On this day, that was a very impressive win. Matt Eberflus gets my game ball.
I'm so upset that you went Flus, because Flus, I was going to give it to you for 4th and 13. But you know what? I'm going to give it to your partner, Luke Getsy. You were up and down today too. But hey, someone's got to call the 4th and 13. And the OC.
He doesn't know 4th and 1, but 4th and 13.
Hey, 4th and 13, 13-13 game, 38-yard bomb to DJ Moore, wide open. Luke Getsy. You get a game ball for that, my brother. Congratulations. It was up and down, but that was the play of the year. Go ahead.
Well, the 4th and 13, while you're trying to give Luke Getsy his flowers, that goes to Justin Fields. Yeah, Luke put him out there on the field, but we don't know if they were just trying to draw him offsides or not. And Justin checks at the line of scrimmage, pre-snap, reads something, changes at the line, draws the defense offsides with a hard count, and then fires a laser to DJ Moore on a free play for a touchdown, like you said, on 4th and 13. There were some bests today. The best win of Matt Eberflus's career, the best this defense has looked since 2018, and that was the best play, not throw or run. He's had better, more dynamic plays in his career, Justin Fields, but that was the best play of his career because it showed the evolution and the maturity that he's developing as a quarterback. Pre-snap read, hard count, throw it to your best player, on the nuts, dime ball.
Another great one. Absolutely, Justin deserves it. And so we'll wrap up that play with, to you, DJ Moore,
honorary game ball.
No, we're doing. We can give as many game balls as we want. It's not honorary. 6 catches for 68 yards. Wasn't targeted in the first half, which was ridiculous. They did have the sweet running play where anybody could have walked in, but DJ Moore got to do it. That was a phenomenal design, phenomenal play call. But battled through a ton today. Injured, off the field, back on the field, making tough catches, making touchdown catches, burning defensive backs who's I couldn't even find who the hell that was. Number 23 on the lines. Don't care. And DJ Moore, you get a game ball too.
More game balls?
No. Unless you want me to give a second one to Matt Eberflus?
What about Cole Kmet?
No, I want to talk about this 4th and 13.
Let's do it.
What an what? Why? Like everyone's like, you're gonna flip field position. Like field position seems so important there, and you obviously couldn't kick the field goal. It's like just punt the ball away. You know your defense is playing well. They'll get a stop. You'll get it back. And it's like, no, they're coming back on the field, and we're all sitting there going, why? What is happening? And then, again, I have no idea what the Lions are doing defensively there. They had 9 guys at the line of scrimmage. They still looked like a cover 2 on the back, but for some reason the safety didn't go with DJ Moore over the top. Credit to Justin Fields. Like you said, he saw it. He threw it. I think there was a pre-snap adjustment there too. Post-snap read. The implications of that call, to me, are going to be very, very interesting to follow here in the next 4 weeks, maybe beyond that. Because if we start talking about winning streaks, like you're saying, Braggs, that they can go on some type of big run here, I mean, to me, it starts with that 4th and 13. And if that's the play that we all trace this back to, this turnaround where this regime finally it started clicking and they started winning more football games, man, hand it to you, Matt Eberflus. That was a heck of a call, heck of an execution, and I'm just still shocked that it worked because that never works for the Bears.
Give me that ball. Carm, you got to give your ball to Phil Snow.
Well, I mean, we started off the show with Snow, but listen, I talked to Matt.
I don't think Braggs was listening to that part of the show.
I don't listen.
Yeah, we already talked.
But
about
we can give him the game ball.
It was literally the first 5 seconds of the show.
We're giving him a game ball.
Are we?
No,
Yeah.
We're not giving Phil Snow a game ball.
It's like when Flus was giving out those game balls a few weeks ago, and he gave him to like 6 people, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Deontay Foreman, who had like the best game." He's like, "We got to give you one too." And we got to throw one in.
This is
for
not
Phil
like
Snow.
that because Phil Snow does not get a game ball.
Fine, Cole Kmet, you're getting a game ball. Even though I got to talk to you on
screaming
Tuesday.
at Cole Kmet. Look, the 4th and 13, there was not one person who was at the game, was sitting in here, was sitting at home that thought that was a good idea. There's no way that anybody, literally no one thought that was a good idea. And yet, here, I don't know if they were just trying to draw him off sides or not. I'll be interested to hear what he says after the game. I don't care. They went for it. It was a great job.
14 yards offsides? By the way, they did jump offsides.
I mean, you couldn't.
You're only getting 5 yards.
Right, but it might have pushed him closer to field goal range.
Okay, yeah.
But the whole point though is like, look, I am 4-8. My coaching life is on the line. My quarterback life is on the line. We are in plus territory. That's true. We do have a defense that we feel comfortable with. We are going to throw caution to the wind because we can. We have nothing to lose. And they might have just won everything with that. I mean, so it was stunning, and it was absolutely a risk worth taking upon further review. And the execution couldn't have been any better. So, I mean, wow.
Yeah, let me talk a little. Okay, yeah. So I'm running through the coaching logic of what was going on here, and let me tell you what I hope was happening. Okay, so yeah, you're at the 38-yard line. You're probably just outside of your range. So, yes, offsides, probably you're kicking a field goal then if you do get those 5 yards. So that's a great point. So here's what I'm hoping is what they're thinking. Let's get out there. It's 4th and 13. Let's line up. Let's see what they're showing us. Okay? If we don't like the look, we just try to get them off sides. If we don't get them off sides, unfortunately, then you got to burn the time. Probably you just take a delayed game, though. You probably just take a delayed game and punt it, so you don't even have to burn the timeout. That's all good process. And then if you like the look you're getting, fuck it, let's run it. Let's try to make the play. Now, I can't wait to see the all-22 on that play, but I'm still a little shocked they liked the look because the safety was there. If he just goes with DJ Moore, that's not open. For some reason, he comes down. And again, I got to watch that play a little bit closer. But I didn't see anything underneath that he necessarily needed to drop underneath for. But maybe that's scouting. Maybe that's just what they see in that situation. They know that's what the safeties are going to do. I hope that's all how it played out. And then they knew that that's exactly what was going to happen. And then it was just an easy one-on-one win for DJ Moore. It was a heck of a throw, a heck of a play, a heck of a call. Yep. Unbelievable.
But the other aspect is they didn't blow it dead. It's offsides. Now they're letting them run the play.
Yeah.
And that was the other part that made it so special, especially to Bears fans, is we've seen that happen to us so many times.
And maybe that's part of it. If they jump, just snap the ball, run a play.
Right.
That's a great point.
I hope that's part of it, too.
That's what I'm saying.
And this is where...
That's Aaron Rodgers-esque. We've seen that a million times. The Lions and Bears have both seen that done to us a million times, but it was us taking advantage of that.
But I want to go back to even last season. There were moments last year where the Bears started to do that, and we gave them credit for that. We were like, finally, because that was a Nagy... That was one of the most frustrating things under the whole Nagy era was like anytime someone jumped off sides, they never got a free pay.
Don't point at the lineman, run a play.
And so even last year when we were frustrated, but nobody was really over, like there wasn't really a Eberflus narrative last year because everyone knew they were supposed to be bad. And there were moments like that where they were actually doing that. So I think the more we talk this out right now, that was just a really well executed moment for everyone involved.
It's right. Process was good. Execution was good. Taking it, the read by your quarterback who had an up and down day, but bottom line showed the toughness that he always shows. Showed his ability to catch you on the ground a zillion different times. All the questions are out there, man. Here comes the Duke 49.99.
I'll read it for you.
Yes,
you
please.
Save your voice. Ran out of the room. Carm, I'm going to bring you out to Aspen.
Oh, my God.
Do we get a location here?
No, he's been in Aspen lately.
Yeah, he's just,
he invited the Bulls
he's got a
guys
private jet,
on the post-game show. The Bulls CHGO Bulls show, he invited them out to Aspen as well. So I think he's just out there for vacation.
Well, I want to go to Aspen. All right. Anyway, Carm, I'm going to bring you out to Aspen, and we're going to get a couples massage because you are my spirit animal, and I'm going to leave my family for you.
Oh,
Sincerely,
Duke, I'm in.
Nick is going to steal them away. # wife crush.
Steal them anyway. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you guys can work out a swap here, maybe. Go Bears. I'm losing my effing mind.
You're doing a great job, Duke. I'm in for the Aspen trip. Just let me know. And
By the
one
way,
of the great moments I've ever had it wasn't a couples massage, but it was a foot rub with a friend of mine in China. We just hung out, foot rub late night. It was great.
But this is the
I'm down.
thing. Like last year,
Yeah.
With each other?
No, we went to a foot rub establishment.
Well, I just wanted to clarify
we
that.
hung out.
It sounded like you guys just gave each other foot rubs.
No. We were just. This is
Just
just
there's
like
anything wrong with it. And I just
like
wanted more details.
Of course, but me. And
all right, nobody gives a shit. So last year at this time, I was vehemently rooting for the Bears to lose because I felt strongly that was what was best for this organization. We had pushback. Different people, including you, were saying like they needed to learn how to win. And I'm not saying that there isn't some truth to that, but it was more important for them to get that top pick. I didn't really necessarily know it was going to be number one, but now that it's turned into DJ Moore, Darnell Wright, a future first-round pick, I feel great about that moment. And I'm seeing people like trying to decide if this, like them winning today is a bad thing because of how this season's going to end. And I just want to try to emphasize to people, I have opinions on how I think things are going to play out, but this stuff is evolving with the coaching staff and the quarterback. And nothing's a guarantee. We don't know how Ryan Poles feels. And we have the number one pick locked in. The one thing that was so refreshing today, at least for me, was I didn't even pay attention to what the Panthers were doing because that pick seems to be locked in.
Yeah, they're getting
so
their ass
who
kicked.
cares what the Bears pick is? Let them win as many games as they possibly can. There's nothing wrong with it. You're not risking having you're going to have the number one pick anyway is my point. So just enjoy this. Don't worry about the repercussions of the moment. Put your predictions and your opinions to the side, and let's just let this play out and see what Ryan Poles decides at the end of the year.
So I don't think anyone's thinking about losing out in draft picks. Maybe a couple people are. But what I think our people are thinking about is if they get to 7 wins, and does that mean, and they look decent doing it, does that mean that Flus is staying? Does that mean that Getsy's staying? Does that mean that Justin's staying?
Yep.
And I think a lot of Bears fans want that with the quarterback, but don't want that with the coaching staff. So
Well,
we got no answers on that from today. We got answers towards it's possible. That's what happened today.
well,
No?
I keep trying to have this conversation with you guys individually, even off the show. We're not getting a concrete answer in any game. Wait till it's all over. You changed your mind 3 times today in the middle of the game on if Flus is getting
okay.
fired.
I know that drives you nuts, but like, what's wrong with that? We're
my
living
point is-
like Cody Del Mendo put out. I've talked myself into we need to lose out and we need to win out 3 times in this game. That's what we do. We're fanatical.
Yeah, but look, if they had somehow had blown the game today, Hoge, it might have been. It would have been a very. I mean, let's put it this way: Bears fandom would have put every nail in the coffin on Flus if they had lost today.
100%.
But I would argue that is we're not getting a concrete answer, but you're getting the needle's moving one way or the other.
Right.
And today it moved the other way.
Right. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It moved the other way. It moved towards them staying. Period.
What fun is it to just stay in the pendulum's swinging? Swing with it. Who gives a shit? It's fun. That's what sports are all about. You want to be balanced and not be overreactionary? More power to you. Or somebody in the chat, hey, that's how you want to fan how you want to fan. But I'm just trying to tell people, like, enjoy it. Like, we've been waiting a few years for the Bears to start winning games. Things are starting to turn the corner. Defense is looking very exciting. Offense is progressing.
Well, that's the most
no
exciting.
complaints from me.
That's the most exciting part. And I saw somebody in the chat, and they're right. Montez Sweat, you deserve a game ball today. You were only credited for 1 sack, but that dude is making such an enormous difference that they absolutely should be giving him a game ball. Jervon Dexter got credit for a 1/2 sack. Justin Jones got credit for a 1.5 sacks. None of it happens without Sweat. The man has transformed the defense.
Well, and Sweat also had 4 quarterback hits and
Exactly.
knocked down a pass.
Right.
I mean, he was a monster.
Game ball.
He was
Right
an
here, buddy.
absolute monster.
No question.
Somebody in
Phenomenal.
the chat said Braggs is riding the roller coaster and Hoge's on the Metro.
No, I was riding the roller coaster today with the quarterback. Trust me. I was losing my mind.
I love the Metro. I can't wait to be on it this week. So peaceful. Keep going. Let's go.
While you talk into the window.
That's right. That's exactly right. And people in the car, sometimes they enjoy the show and sometimes they don't. It's the way it is. All right.
I feel like I need to clarify the last 5 minutes of my life because all I was trying to say is you're not getting a final answer after any of these games. I'm actually making the point you guys are making, which is that this is swinging every single week. And that's all I'm trying to say is that as it swings, you just have to acknowledge the swings as they're happening, and then the final decision comes at the end.
Right.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Everybody's in a rush to get it. Like even us on the pregame
You
show.
fired the coaching staff in week
Correct.
4.
Correct. And we're picking apart Ryan Poles like we were on the pregame show today, trying to like decipher and find the code of what he's going to do. And everybody's looking for a definitive answer. And maybe the simple answer is there is no definitive answer yet.
Yeah, but to that part of it, listening to Poles talk, anytime he's talked, I don't think he has a huge desire to change coaches or even change quarterbacks. I don't think it's something that he wants to do. It might be something that he ultimately decides is the best decision for the franchise, but there's no way in any world that he's sitting up there like, I can't wait for this season to be on so I can get rid of this guy, Matt Eberflus, because I don't like him. It's very clear that he has respect for Flus and he has respect for Justin. What he decides to do, yes, right, wait and see. But I think he'd love to. I think he'd love it if the Bears ended up 9-8 and Fields played great and Flus continued to come up with 4th and 13 moments and somehow, some way, the Bears made this super interesting. And by the way, for a slightly long-winded one, just to pat myself on the back, who said? Oh, there goes the voice. Who said before the season they're gonna start slow? This is the likelihood.
Dan Wiederer. Shout out Dan.
Coming at our Twitter account, Dan Wiederer. I'm watching you, Wiederer. I said it was likely they would start slow, and then hopefully they'd get hot, and now they're getting hot. And I wish they wouldn't have blown games.
They didn't start slow, though. They started dead.
Well, I said, look at the way the Lions started. It's like it's happened to the Bears.
$5 super chat for Carm. Browns, Cardinals, Falcons, Packers. Can we win out? If we do, you finally bend the knee to the quarterback god, Justin Fields. Been hating all year with your hating ass, Stephanie M. You better pay attention.
He wasn't listening at all. It's too bad.
Well, I was trying to relay the message you sent.
Are you going to bend the knee if they win out to Justin Fields and put down your Bajan sword?
I was so excited when Bajan took off the thing today. That was awesome. Hey, Stephanie, they went out. I'll do everything you just said. I'm in. Let's go. Bend the knee. I'll do a video. I'll sing a song. Whatever you want. I'm in. Let's go.
Hotel Whiskey's in New Zealand.
Whoa, that's crazy. Let's go. I don't know. Yeah, I just think it's cool. I mean, whenever anyone checks in from around the world.
Yeah, New Zealand's dope. So 20 New Zealand dollars, whatever that's worth. We'll do the translation. Monday morning. Monday morning in New Zealand. Watching a Bears win over coffee is the best way to start the week.
Let's go.
What a great win. Momentum appears to be building. Let's see who Poles can fleece for the number 1 next season. That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's get into that discussion here in a second.
Let's talk some quarterback here in a second.
Yeah, we got to break down that a little bit. But, of course, anytime, like maybe you're like me and you just weren't totally – just in case. Mm-hmm. Just in case they blew the game at the end, you sprinkled a couple dollars on the Lions money line when they got up to plus 1,100. Circa's got you covered for stuff like that. They have tight money line splits. Low hold model. Their games will strive to be a minus 110 split on the Circa Sports menu. Unlike other sportsbook, they're going to get you at minus 115 or minus 120. What does that mean? That means they're taking more of your money. Circa Sports keeps as little money as possible on large market bets, especially compared to other books. Circa Sports does not limit players based on their winnings, and they encourage you to download. Look at all the other sports betting apps available. You're going to compare the lines, and you're going to see Circa has the best ones. Circa also has outstanding customer service. They have real people behind the Circa Sports brand who resolve issues in a timely fashion. Unlike those other books, they use chatbots. We all hate chatbots. There's one over there. We don't.
Yeah, he's not listening.
He's not
anyways, it's
listening.
fine.
But-
Chatbots don't listen. That's the problem with him.
Yeah, right. Like they say a lot, but they don't listen back to you. That's the problem with chatbots.
Is he talking about me?
I don't know. Again, sounds like something a chatbot would say. Download the Circus Sports Illinois app at circusports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Also be on the lookout for Circa events, watch parties, and tailgates. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER, text GAMB to 833-234, or visit areyourreallyWinning.com.
That's right. And while you're at one of those tailgates that Circa's at, you can bring yourself a varsity cooler. Carm, do your job. Do your modeling. Make yourself useful. Need the perfect bag for game day? Varsity Coolers will have you set game day and beyond with the best portable cooler and weekender duffel around. This is it's a Swiss Army knife of bags, and it's got some really cool features like the city map on the back. Got the amazing traditional Bears stripes on the sides. You got a little flap that says Chicago. When you open it up, there's this sweet lining that has hot dogs and pizza in there. What better signifies Chicago than a dog and some pizza? Team colors, the landmarks are all over it. The lining has it, like I said, the lining is sweet because it's one of those things that can really like hold the ice in there and not leak. It's double lined, so it doubles as a cooler. Like I said before, it's a perfect Christmas, Hanukkah, and holiday gift. And so make sure you get it for the perfect gift for a football fan in your life. Head over to varsitycoolers.us and use the code CHGO at checkout for 10% off your order today.
You know how Chicago this bag is? You reach into it and pull out some Jardinere.
Yeah.
That's how Chicago this bag is. Varsity Coolers. This, though, Barger's Beef Jardinere. We had Barger's Beef came by today.
Yes.
Our friend Darren Barger over there does such a great job.
My food coma hit in the third quarter.
Yeah, you were sleeping.
I think that's why it was a little subdued here as the Bears were trouncing the Lions. I've already had 2 of those sandwiches. They were delicious.
I went 2 beefs. I had their pasta salad.
Pasta was good.
Pasta was
nuts.
good. That was a new thing they were trying. By the way, so if it's summertime, which it's not right now, what you want to do is find Barger's Beef out on Fox Lake. They're docked at Stormy Mondays bar. They literally are selling the stuff right off a barge. But since it's not summer, you can also just contact them. They'll cater events. They have catering packages going on right now, and they're selling. I'm telling you, this stuff is really good.
Really good.
Like, it's fantastic, and they sell them. You can get a 12-ounce jar for $12 or 2 jars for $20. Pretty good stocking stuffer, if you ask me.
Yep.
Like, this better be in my stocking, Santa, or we're going to have a problem. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, check them out. Facebook page is the best way to find them. Barger's Beef, Barger Beef, and go check them out. We appreciate them stopping by today with some outstanding food. All right.
Quarterback.
The quarterback of the Chicago Bears. This was a heck of a ride today. As we show you his stats, 19 to 33, 223. He did hit the over on the passing.
I was shocked.
Had a touchdown, no interceptions, 3 sacks. Seemed like he was running around forever at times. 12 official carries, 58 yards, 1 touchdown. Most important stat on there, guys, no interceptions, no fumbles, did not turn it over. Dude, you got it all today. You got the electricity, you got the playmaking, you got the strike to DJ Moore on 4th and 13, where he's processing everything and he's making the throw. And then you had him holding on to the ball too long. You had him taking sacks. You had him throwing the ball across the field of Mooney like a full second too late. Otherwise, that's a catch. The miss to Cole Kmet that should have been a touchdown later. Like, this was everything. Like, the full Justin Fields experience was today. But they won the game. And they beat a good team relatively convincingly. With a great start, got dicey in the middle, and then they turned it on late, and they took off with, yes, a great defensive performance to go along with it. But that's the question that Ryan Poles has to answer here, guys. Can you win with Justin Fields? And today you learned that even with some of the bad, you sure as hell can win with this quarterback as long as he's not turning the ball over and he's making just enough amount of plays to beat the best team in your division. That's why I think today was such an important day. Huge evaluation day for Matt Eberflus, box checked. And in terms of Justin Fields stick around in the future, I think this game carries some weight. Was it frustrating at times? Absolutely. Was it exciting? Plenty of other times? Absolutely. But if you're trying to figure out what you should do with what appears to be the likely number one pick, do you want to run it back with this quarterback who may be down the stretch here? And it's not just about today. It's about these other games coming up too. But if he shows that they can keep winning, playing this way, do you want to run that back? Or do you want to start over with a rookie quarterback where you know there's going to be a lot of headaches no matter who you're drafting? You can be the greatest quarterback of all time, and there's still going to be headaches as a rookie. And how does that fit your timeline of winning? That's going to be incredibly interesting to watch unfold here these next 4 weeks. But for today, I think this was a good day for Justin Fields in terms of sticking around in the future. As many times as I was like, ooh, I don't know. Like, it's still tough to watch.
It didn't hurt.
I'm.
The question is how much it helped.
Here's what Dan Campbell had to say about Justin Fields leading up to the game, which I thought was an interesting quote from him earlier in the week. I'll tell you what, quote, he's done a really good job of, from last year to this year, if it's a pass and he starts to move, he's still moving with eyes down the field much more than I felt like he had previously. And that's extremely dangerous because even in Minnesota, he had 2 or 3 receivers wide open after he had a kind of run, found a way through, broke contain, and all of a sudden he gets an explosive pass off of it. So that's an opposing coach looking at the Bears quarterback and seeing the Bears quarterback getting better. I still think you watch today's game as I wear my QB Slide t-shirt here, and you see him putting himself in harm's way. You see him airmailing balls over the head of DJ Moore. You see him missing Darnell Mooney. You see him late on passes. But you also see him making the same explosive plays that he's always made, which has, by the way, been my point all along. We don't need these last 4 games. You know exactly who he is. And he is going to, in my opinion, logically, he is going to continue to get better and better at seeing the field, and things will get tighter and tighter, and he'll make more throws like he made to DJ. But it depends, again, if you have the number 1 overall pick, how good do you think that Caleb Williams or Drake May is? If you think they're generational talents, I don't think he did anything today where you're like, I got to stick with Justin. But if you don't think that, you're uncertain, well then, you have your guy here. You know what he can do. He's shown it to you time and time again, and hopefully he continues to improve as the roster gets better. I think he absolutely, once again, showed this is who I am, take it or leave it.
Yeah, I think, like Hoge said,
I don't have a lozenge.
I think what Hoge said, like, can you win with Justin Fields? Yes, he's proven that. He has proven that. Can you win because of Justin Fields? He's shown that from time to time. Can you win because of Justin Fields every time? Like, that is something he could still show here these last 4 weeks, because today was complimentary football, like Matt Eberflus always talks about. The biggest thing you just brought up, Carm, though, is it sustainable the way he plays? And I almost, like I said, after a win like today and just trying to be excited about the rest of this season for once, it honestly kind of just pisses me off to even talk about the offseason as much as we talk about it. It's just like, let's just enjoy today's win, but it's the elephant in the room that is impossible to ignore. So if we're going to go down this road, to me, it's about, is it sustainable? Because the amount of hits, he's a tough SOB, but it's just always a ticking time bomb, the amount of hits he takes. And, of course, we talk about the Fields guide. The first freaking play of the game, he gets hit late, out of bounds, and it's not called.
It wasn't out of bounds.
Or not out of bounds. It was hit. He was hit late after the whistle or after the play was dead. And we see this time and again with Justin Fields, not to mention all the other hits he takes or sacks he takes that are on him where he holds the ball too long. And that's where I have this hesitation. Like, okay, we understand, like you said, his playmaking ability and what he can do and what he's capable of, and they can win with him. But the way he plays, is it sustainable? I want it to be, but I don't know if the answer is yes.
Well, first of all, if I'm getting ready to play the Chicago Bears, I've already seen it on film and understand that the refs are never going to call that hit when he's sliding. So I'm telling my guys, yeah, hit him. Go ahead and land on him when he's sliding, because any quarterback hits you can get in there, the better, and they're not calling it. So at that point, this is on the scouting report. Great job, NFL officiating, for allowing that to be the case. Meanwhile,
it was interesting, too, just to where you're going. The first play of the game, you could make a call there, NFL officiating, and set a precedent for the game. No, we're not going to do that. Nope. Not doing that.
Not going to do that. It's okay. And then I actually thought, and this isn't so much as much of a criticism as it's just really an observation, and I think it's the way the Lions play football. It's the way that Dan Campbell said they're going to play. They're going to bite kneecaps and, ride that line between dirty and clean. And there were a couple hits in this game that I was like, ugh. I mean, good for you playing that way, I guess, but that's certainly a way to, as soon as Justin Fields turns into a runner, he loses that protection of guys driving him into the ground and putting their weight. There were 2 hits in this game that I thought they were clearly coached to do that this week, because it was multiple times. One was Kaminsky coming in, landing on him. I forget who was involved in the second one, but you could tell the way they're taking him down and landing on top of him on purpose when he becomes a runner, when that becomes legal to do. I also thought go back and watch Campbell's tackle on DJ Moore when DJ Moore got banged up on the sideline. That was a borderline gator roll to me. And if you guys don't know what that means, it's when you kind of have a player by his ankle and you roll your own body while holding them. And it's a pretty dirty play that usually happens sometimes in the trenches. I don't think that went to the realm of completely obvious where I want to go as far as to say it was dirty. It just looked to me like Campbell took an extra roll there that he didn't need to do. And when he did that, DJ Moore rolled with him because he's got his ankle in his grasp. And otherwise, I'm looking at that play wondering how he even got hurt. So it had to be that. Again, not necessarily a full criticism or criticism at all, just an observation. And I'm also not surprised because that's the way the head coach said they were going to play. So if that's their identity, good for you. But this was a physical football game, and Justin Fields at halftime was getting looked at by the trainers. DJ Moore was banged up in this game. Jaquan Brisker was banged up. I saw Braxton Jones at one point banged up.
Herbert took a huge shot.
We want to talk, to this point about taking the hits, the worst sequence of the day for Fields was the 3 straight plays where they got -8 yards.
And 3 hits.
And 3 hits. And the first one, it looked like it hurt his shoulder the way he was landed on.
That was, I think, the one I'm talking about where he got driven into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's that sequence of plays there for those of that don't believe in Fields, that was their fodder because that wasn't a good sequence of plays.
Well, I think those last 2 hits were on him, too.
Right.
Like, he was holding on to the ball. And that third one, I believe, if it was the same drive I'm thinking of, he ran into the pressure. There was nobody there in the middle. Just stay in the pocket, dude.
Right.
And that's what I mean going back to all the praise I gave him earlier and all the criticism. I mean, this was the full Justin Fields experience today. Like, if it's something we've debated about or talked about with Fields, it was in this game.
He looks like he's going to get sacked for a safety. And you've got some really good football players, Aiden Hutchinson, around him. And the incredible athlete that Fields is, he's able to use his speed and his strength and his quickness to make a quick move and get out of there. And then all of a sudden he's picking up 30 yards and sliding and doing everything you want him to do as far as getting down.
Yep.
I mean, that is...
He's one of the few, if not the only guy in the league that can do that with the combination of strength and speed that he has.
It's also showed some confidence from the coaching staff right there. Instead of just running the ball and punting and trying to get out of there, let's let him drop back and see if he can make a play.
Well, that's why
unconventional, but he
be.
did. Well,
like too many times early this year and last year at times to start the year, that would drive me crazy. Give your best playmaker a chance to make a play. The worst play call of the day by Luke Getsy was on 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2. I think they tried to do a tush push. And then
he just ran up the middle.
Yeah,
like
ran
a
up the
quarterback
middle.
draw.
Yeah, thank you. And then 4th and 1, they pitch it left and take the ball out of your best playmaker's hand. And to your point, 4th and 13,
and get
4th and whatever, or 3rd and whatever in your end zone. If you don't let Justin Fields drop back, you're taking out the equation of that moment happening where all of a sudden everything opens up and you have one of the fastest, strongest playmakers to play at the quarterback position.
So here's my problem with the 4th and 1 pitch to DJ Moore. All right. You have this great play on the first drive, and the Bears did a lot of good things on the first drive, as they usually do. It's a good, well-scripted first drive, good execution. We've seen it over and over again with this team. They did one subtle thing Justin Fields did on that drive that I loved was there was at least one zone read keeper on that where he didn't even read the guy. He just, whether he was told to do it or he just did it on his own, he said, I'm keeping this ball and going to the edge myself. He just pulled it that fast and went and got first down. And then they run this great design play that who knows if they've had it since training camp. I don't remember seeing it in training camp, but maybe they put it in during the bye week, whatever it is. They put DJ Moore in the backfield, which is great. Immediately what's going on here? DJ Moore's in the backfield. Where's Justin Fields? He's over there. And then you put Justin Fields in motion. Everybody's worried about Justin Fields. And he just fakes the handoff, takes it with the blockers that came out to the left. Was it Braxton Jones? I think someone got out there all the way to the edge, made a great block to seal the sideline and get DJ Moore in the end zone. Everything about that was great. Then you get to 4th and 1, and you put DJ Moore in the backfield. After what they saw earlier, that's going to alert, DJ Moore's in the backfield. So why would you give him the ball again? If anything, he should be back there as a decoy. Just be like, we got to worry about him. And then you go up the middle with Fields again for 1 yard. Just have your big quarterback run for it. Instead, they pitch it to him when they're all going, look, number 2's back there. And they're all worried about number 2. They pitch it to him. That's what I don't like about that. Like, you have the initial good play. Then what's your counter off of that? And just to pitch it to him is like, well, no shit. That's the obvious thing. I didn't like that.
It only lost 7 yards, but look, it was bad,
especially when it's 4th and inches. I hate when you go away from the line of scrimmage on 4th and inches. Go forward.
I like the idea of having something back there that's different to get their eyes on.
A couple guys flowing that way,
and then you just go right ahead with your big ass quarterback to get the inches. That's what
that would have made sense. Look. I just vowed that we weren't going to pick apart one play and be like, see, the OC doesn't know what he's doing. Why the hell did he do that? I mean, because I do think when you look at Getsy's rolling today, it's still this wild roller coaster of what's going on. But on the whole, I thought that what he was trying to do, what they did do, generally made sense.
Well, the DJ Moore touchdown was fantastic.
Right.
Well, here's weird beards, 10 Canadian dollars. No one's talking about how Getsy let Justin dictate the second half, playing to win. So that's why I wanted to actually. I'm glad you're bringing that because
they spread the ball around on one drive. It was beautiful.
What did you call it?
Said it was reminded me of some quarterback who played earlier in the year.
He said it was Bajan-esque.
I hate you.
It was a beautiful drive. Everybody was catching the ball. It was mostly tongue in cheek, but it was really cool to see.
Well, if we all go back though and watch our halftime video that we did, that's on the CHGO Bears Twitter account,
we were dead.
We were frustrated. I was frustrated. I'll just speak for myself. I was frustrated because once again, like. You saw the great script to start the game, the great first drive, everything they've been doing for really the last 2 years, and then extreme lack of adjustments and the failure to build on earlier plays. And to have 0 targets for DJ Moore at halftime is a fireable offense. Like, how does that happen? So let me flip that around.
Not catches, targets.
Targets. Like, oh, yeah, you gave him 2 runs, though. Great. But you didn't throw the ball to your best player for an entire half of football. That's a real NFL offense that did that. So I was frustrated at halftime. So now the game's over. Give the credit where it should go. Luke Getsy made halftime adjustments today. DJ Moore was a focal point in the second half, despite the fact he was banged up and he was hurt. And they kept giving him the ball. They kept targeting him. What a concept. Good things happen when you try to get the ball to your best players. And that was, it sounds so simple, but they did it. And to that comments right there, too, from Weird Beards, like they let Justin Fields dictate the second half. They put the ball, they trusted him in a huge 4th and 13 moment. Players made the big plays at the right times. There were actual halftime adjustments. They finished the game. So thank God, because I was frustrated at halftime.
I even like the 2nd and goal play to DJ where it didn't work out, and he almost landed awkwardly and hurt his ankle again. But Justin put it up to him, jump ball in the end zone. 3rd down, DJ's double teamed. Cole's in the left corner. I forget who was in the right corner. Justin ends up firing the ball out of the end zone. And I'm like, give me one more jump ball. I would like throw it up to Cole and see if he can make a play. But that to me was actual progress. Where's my best player? He's in the end zone. He's 1-on-1. Let's put it up to him. Let's see what happens. Okay, it didn't work out, but it was to me it was exactly the type of chances that Fields should be willing to take. Brags.
A couple more Getsy supers if you want.
Yeah, here we go.
Now.
Professor Fumbledore, $10. If Getsy can start beating opponents, God damn it,
Yeah.
even he can stay.
Got it.
Flus D is legit. Flus just needs to rein in Getsy's naggy-like faults, like having Mooney block because, quote, no one expects it. They do not care.
I think Mooney's a good blocker.
He is for his size, and you didn't have Equanimous St. Brown today to do some of that.
Missed him today.
Seriously, how did they win without EQ today?
Again,
I don't know how they did that.
Because of their effort. You got to respect it.
yeah. All right, what else?
If we get EQ back, we're going to win by 40.
That's what they're missing to have the full blowout today.
If you missed the pregame show, Braggs was having a meltdown that they didn't have EQ, and I somehow had the hypothesis that perhaps they'd survive without EQ one game. I don't know how they. I like EQ. I'm an EQ guy, but let's not make EQ out to be that he's Justin Jefferson team. Keep going.
Ray Schneider,
his nose in the, going in the water.
1999. Is it Justin Fields or Luke Getsy calling plays? Justin Fields runs what's given. Need creativity, patience with Justin Fields needs to grow. 1 year he had nothing
To do. They were tanking. No
for
line.
the love of God.
I know. I actually, this is what I was trying to like edit this, and then
Yeah.
it didn't actually work. So
Okay.
basically, they're saying,
Really appreciate the super
Yeah.
chat.
Thank you, Grace.
yeah,
My niece's name is Grace. She's a great soccer player, Lane Tech. Watch for her when she makes it to the next level. Damn it. Keep going.
I hope so. I lost my train of thought because periods are good.
Your train of thought is that Grace is amazing. Our next super chat comes from... No? Okay.
Oh,
So
I know what I was going to say.
I got a couple things I got to get out. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay, go.
Well, Jaquan Brisker had 17 tackles today.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
17.
And I really freaked out on the 3 he missed.
I think 14 were solo.
And I don't know what this is, and he does it a lot of times when he's not even in the play. And he almost got hurt today, too, and he was down. But, hey,
Come on,
9.
Hoge. You got to do it, Hoge.
Let's give Hoge.
Be a team player, Hoge.
Give,
Oh,
give,
What are we
sorry.
doing here?
There we go. Brisker, we got you. Good work. That's a hell of a performance today. 17 damn ass tackles. And one thing about Jaquan,
I was looking up his tackles.
one thing about Jaquan that
13 solo, 4 assists. Gotcha.
one thing about
Would have been
Jaquan,
17, but those 3 at the end that he missed, where I had a brain aneurysm about it.
One thing about Jaquan,
Yes, sir.
that guy is never going to not believe in himself or his teammates and the Bears' ability to turn it around, to get a win. He's been just a lightning rod of positivity since he's been here. So fingers crossed always that guy will be able to stay on the field.
By the way, some news about the Bears' next opponent.
Okay?
Browns head coach. They do play the Browns next week, right?
They do.
That's right.
On the road. Their last
One
road,
game at a time, baby. I haven't moved the next week.
It's their last road game till the final game of the season at Green Bay.
Kevin Stefanski has named Joe Flacco as Cleveland's starting quarterback for the rest of this season.
Bring it on, Stefanski.
So Joe Flacco. They
How'd
got a
the
big win
Browns do
today. They got a big win over the Jaguars, who did have Trevor Lawrence.
He played the whole game, Trevor?
I don't know. I was covering the Bears game.
That's true. You do such a great job at it.
They put up
Thank you.
31 points, Greg. They beat the Jaguars at home. The Bears are going to be an underdog in Cleveland next week.
That's going to be a tough game.
And Joe Flacco today, for the record, was 26 of 45 for 311 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. He was sacked 1 time. That's going to change, Browns. We're coming for you. It's going to be a tough game.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence threw the ball 50 times today. 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Well, and as you mentioned,
It's a good defense, man.
As you mentioned during the week too, there's a little bit of, it's a little poetic though too, that Fields is returning to the place where he made his first start of his career, where things couldn't have gone worse, and now you're reaching a moment where he can win 3 games in a row for the first time in his career. He can inch that much closer to being in the hunt, in the playoff race, as silly as that sounds. You know, there's some things on the line, and you're returning to a place where you couldn't have gotten your ass kicked more than in his first game of his career with Matt Nagy.
Listen, the in the hunt thing is a little crazy, but you got both the 6 and 7 seed in the NFC. The Vikings and the Packers, they both have 6 losses. They're in the hunt.
And the Rams lost today to the Ravens.
Bunch of 6 and 7 teams. Yep. Bunch of 7 loss teams. I mean, it's a 2% chance, but they are in the hunt.
I'll take 2% right now.
It might be even
Milk?
6. Might be even 6%.
I am very excited to hear from Matt Eberflus. I actually said that out loud. I really want to know what his reasoning was for going for it on 4th and 13.
We have Flus.
And I am being told that we have the head coach of the Chicago Bears talking to the media, including people, great-looking people like Nicholas Moreano inside Soldier Field and Herb Howard. Here he is, the head coach, Matt Eberflus.
Guys, certainly excited about the victory in there. A lot of celebrating in there was good. And, obviously started out the game strong. I like how we started out on offense, driving the ball down the field. A pretty good solid start there in the first quarter, and then we went for it on the 4th and 1. That's kind of where momentum shifted a little bit. And that was a good go. I mean, it was at the, we're outside our kick line there, and it was certainly, a play we liked, and they had an alignment where they, did a good job of executing against us, and that's kind of where momentum shifted. They went down and scored on us and went back and forth in there from the first half. And, so it really just gathered the guys at halftime and just told them a little bit about, hey, this is where it is right now. It's a tie game, and we just got to do a really good job of executing our fundamentals and basics. And that's what I told them from the bye week. And that was our biggest thing that we wanted to talk about, for improving ourselves. And I talked to you guys, of course, during the week with that. It's by position, yourself as an individual, and then really working as a unit. And that was the message, and like in the first half, we weren't really good on defense and on 3rd down. We did not do a good enough job in the run game. They popped a couple runs on us. So we had to go back to the basics, and the guys came out, in the second half and did a really good job of executing the calls. And that gave us a chance to win it. So obviously the big momentum shift, that we talk about was obviously the 3rd and 13 going to 4th and, 13, and us going out there, and they jumped off sides, and us hitting that shot to DJ. That was a big momentum shifter there. And then the very next play, they ended up fumbling the snap, and, TJ ended up, getting the fumble recovery and, and then cashing in. So it It was good. It's the big thing with us is that working on sudden change. That was the big part of it. Offensively, I thought we did a solid job of that today. Defense did a nice job of taking the ball away. We were still +3, and that's going to be a big part for us. And then finishing in the fourth quarter. That's always a big part of winning in the NFL, and we did that today. But we beat a good opponent today. My hats off to them. They're tough. They play a good style, and our guys did a good job of coming through in the fourth quarter and finishing off the second half. But with that, open up to questions.
The free play, a lot of you guys were saying they did not expect Detroit to jump, didn't expect to be running a play on that snap. What kind of high-level processing does that ask of Justin to be able to react in the moment and then run a good play at a time when you're not expecting to run a play at all?
Yeah, you have a couple options off of that when they jump. One of them is, you go, I'll go, and that's what we did. And, DJ's hard to cover. He's hard to cover when you got a guy, over top of him or just one guy on him like that. So really good throw, really good catch, and really good reaction, because when they jump, you got to beat them to the punch, because the defense isn't quite ready when that happens. And what happens is a lot of times the D-line stops. When they jump off sides, they stop, they hesitate, so you have a little bit more time. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
What in your estimation sold that to make them jump?
What's that?
What do you sense made them jump? What do you think sold that play there?
It's Justin. It's the hard count. He did a really good job of hard counting, and just a really good job there. And they got him to jump. His use of cadence, and that's what it was.
After giving up 2 touchdowns late in the first half, the defense came out and completely shut them down, like no first downs on 5 guys. What does it say about that unit's resiliency, would you say?
Yeah, it's about those guys hanging together. They do a great job at halftime. I mean, our coaches do an unbelievable job of getting the pictures right. They're all drawn up. I mean, it's like looking at a playbook. I mean, they do a great job making the adjustments, and we all gather together. Everybody's sitting in there. We talk about what our plan, what happened, where was the breakdowns, and then what are we going to do going forward, and what's going to be the calls. And I tell them, how we're going to adjust, what we're going to do differently on third down in situations. And they do a great job with coming together that way.
You guys you're on a win streak now for the first time since you got here. You just beat a team that came back to beat you 2 weeks ago. Do you have a hope that this could be a springboard? It's a win, but you hope it might carry a little more than a win. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's a big deal. It's been a long time coming. You beat to win 2 in a row, and it's 2 division opponents, which is big. And the guys are super excited, but we could feel this coming. With the improvement was happening. Over time, and I just kept telling them, if you keep doing right, it's going to be right, and good things are going to happen. And 2 most important things is the ball and the fourth quarter finish. And the guys always stayed together. There was never a point where, the morale was bad or the guys, didn't have that. And I told them that in the room. I said I appreciate their leadership because they hung together through adversity. And football's tough; it's hard to win. So it's really good by them as hanging together. And it's so important that they keep doing the work patterns right, because they've always worked hard, right? They've always, worked on detail and fundamentals, and they just got to continue to do that week to week.
Just the 4th and 1 where Sanborn stopped the kid. What was your thought process behind that call and the execution of Sanborn's execution of it?
Yeah, I mean that's a call where they're on the minus field, and we just that was a call we really liked in that situation. It's a kind of a slanting line. We actually, we end up slanting right into it. And, he made a nice play.
Now, Jaquan had 17 tackles today. Jaquan.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
What did you think of the way he was playing?
Sounds like my college stats, for crying out loud.
Lucy, his college stats.
17 tackles? He threw in a little. Is that what he said?
That's what he said.
Okay, good for Flus. Hey,
you pump out that Flus.
That's awesome. So we got confirmation basically there of what we were talking about earlier in the show, trying to explain the 4th and 13 and what I sort of hoped it was. And there's the confirmation. They were trying to draw them off sides, and if they draw them off sides, snap the ball, it was all go. Flu said you could do a couple things there. One of them is just have everybody do an all go. So you're right. You get them off sides. It's free play.
Yep.
F it. Throw the ball up, and then
get another penalty downfield. And if you do.
Yeah. So and then if they don't jump, you probably just take the delay game. You punt the ball, and that process right there makes a whole lot more sense than just screw it, let's try to get this 4th and 13 on a low percentage play. That is well thought out, well practiced, well executed. I mean, obviously, it could not be executed any better. As he talked about, it's not easy because you don't know. Basically, Justin's doing a hard count there, but you don't know when the ball is going to be snapped or even if it's going to be snapped.
Right, because that's what I was going to ask you is if they didn't get him to jump, are they just taking the delay game?
I believe so. Yeah, I think so. And in that's what Flus was talking about there a little bit. It's like you don't know, as an offense player, you don't know what's going to happen. And so they jump, you got to be ready to go. Like, you got to be ready to beat your guy off the line. And DJ Moore obviously did. Fields put it up. Again, guys, that's really that's some high level NFL coaching and execution, to be honest.
Well, and you let's okay, all true, and you do see that every week, 4th and long, where people are, or 4th and short.
Also, we rescind your game ball that you gave Luke Getsy because it had nothing to do with that. It was
all rescinded.
Yeah, it was all the head coach.
Take it back, Luke. You got to be better.
You get nothing, Luke.
No problem. Listen, you see
what
it.
A great play design.
Well, he gets some credit for some things, but okay.
No,
he gets credit for nothing.
Oh, okay. Just take a deep breath.
I disagree because Getsy came from Green Bay, where they were the masters at exactly that play, where Aaron Rodgers would chuck it up every time the Bears jumped offside.
Until I can confirm that he's not a sleeper agent from Green Bay.
Oh, you said
we're not giving him any credit.
Okay, get rid of the football, you ADD man. You can't handle it right now.
I can do what I want with this ball.
Okay, listen.
He has ADD. What do you have?
The point that I'm the point that I'm trying to slowly make here is that you see it every week, 4th and 1, 4th and 5, where guys are trying to draw people off sides and nobody ever goes for it, and you end up punting the football. The Bears did it with such a freneticness and sold it so well that they got the Lions to jump. And then after that, they actually had an idea, a very clear one of what they wanted to do with the football. So,
and Flus was asked, why did it work? And he said, well, basically Justin sold it on the hard count.
Right.
Shout out to our guy Garode. He was at the game today. He is from Ireland. $50 super chat. He came in for the game. Bears win. I'm not saying it's because I was there.
No, it is.
But they rarely win when I'm not there. That makes sense. Chief O'Neill's for Pine.
Nice. I like Chief O'Neill's.
Ooh, I like that. Hopefully Jake Flanagan's with you because Jake Flanagan was also at the game today. And look at this guy.
Look at that. Staley.
That is just
Frags, your boss is on the television screen.
That's
Put your
so
phone
cute.
down.
That's so
Come
cute.
join us on the show.
And
That's
get rid
so
of the
cute.
football. You can't handle it.
Staley was at my kid's school on Friday.
I'm happy for Jake because I know how bad he wanted this win. The last game he was at was the Vikings game where Fields got hurt, and it felt like that might be the end of everything. And when we had our Christmas party on Friday night, No, the end of.
You said that so depressingly, like it.
Well, it is depressing, and it is that serious. And on Friday, we were having some cigars on the back patio here in our studio for our Christmas party. And we were just talking about all the different scenarios, and he was just getting angrier and angrier. And so I know how much this means to him. He was getting very angry at me bringing up things that didn't involve the Bears winning.
Well, can I bring up something that you're going to be very, very happy about? Because there was a graphic that was put up on the television screen.
Yes,
We're going to
you
hear
may.
from Justin Fields here in a
I
second.
love being
But before
happy.
we do that, the Bears are in the hunt again.
The hunt.
That's 2 Sundays in a row, and this time they actually deserved it because they won.
And don't be taking us off this graphic later tonight like you did last week. You keep us right there.
Wait, can you put that back up?
Put that back up. We're going to break down the playoff picture. This is what I've dreamed of.
So it's basically the Vikings and the Packers.
Who suck.
All right, so Rams lost.
Rams lost to the
Vikings
Ravens.
are playing right now. It's tied 0-0, about to go to halftime. The Seahawks.
Who they play? Remind people. And me.
Who?
Minnesota.
I just said it. The Raiders. Didn't I just say that?
You didn't say
I
that.
said Las Vegas.
We weren't listening.
Okay.
I don't think you said it.
Okay, maybe I didn't. I apologize. Vikings, Raiders, tied at 0 with 12 seconds left in the second quarter.
Thank you.
Okay.
The Seahawks are playing the 49ers closer than I thought they would. They don't have Geno Smith playing today. It's 14-10 49ers
Wow.
in the second quarter. And
Loss.
then Rams already lost. Who else do we need here? We need the Falcons. Oh, the Falcons lost. Okay.
And we play the Falcons here in a couple weeks.
I guess I should have known that just based on the records. I got you. I'm following here. I'm catching up. All right. Dude, it's not that. It's kind of insane. It's not insane to think that there's a possibility that Week 18 is on the table as something that matters.
They're 2 games back in the loss column. They play Green Bay again.
Play the Falcons.
Next week's a tougher game than people are realizing.
Next week's a very tough game.
I mean, the Browns are playing well as a defense.
I'm glad they got their win out of the way this week.
Okay.
That's the spin zone.
I mean, they're definitely not outstanding. Here, let's play Justin Fields. I'll try to find the early line for next week already. It's probably out there.
I can do that.
Yeah, but we can hear from Justin Fields and find out what the quarterback had to say after this one. We got Matt Eberflus' side of things, Justin Fields, who obviously had a big role in that 4th and 13 as well. Here's the quarterback.
Yep.
Justin, on the 4th and 13 free play, can you just walk us through kind of what you're doing with cadence to try and draw them, and then when you do see touch come off, just kind of how wide your eyes got and what you know?
Yeah. I mean, basically we're just lined up in a formation, and we try to just get them to jump off sides. So just went on one, then did a dummy protection adjustment to make it feel like a real play, and of course the second one, we got somebody to jump, and then at that point you want to convert, because I think it was 4th and 12 you said, so that's only a 5-yard penalty. So did a great job of front protecting. I think Tab did a great job selling it and stuff like that. DJ ran off the ball hard, and we practiced that each and every week. So it was great execution by everyone.
What's the key to selling that without being over dramatic and overselling it to where they don't believe it?
Just treat it like the same play, like just treat it like a normal play, and most teams are knowing that's gonna come, so just treating it like a normal play.
What's the challenge to take advantage of it? I understand how you guys got it, but to be ready to run a real play at a time when you're not expecting there to be one.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not a challenge because we practice it, multiple times a week. So, we're used to it. Might happen like 3 times this past week during practice. So not during practice and walkthrough. So, like I said, we practice it. It happens every week, and the guys are ready for it, and we executed it. So it ended up being a big play.
What's the key to when you guys don't pick up the 3rd and the 4th down and more kind of shift and get back in the game? What's the key for y'all to kind of stay resilient and continue to regain control of that game, where maybe in the past kind of lost in other teams of control? I mean, yeah, we know as a team that there are going to be ups and downs during the game, and we try to stay even-keeled throughout the whole time. So I think the guys did that. I think personally we did leave a lot on the field. I think we could have been better in some areas, but at the end of the day, we got the dub, and that's all that matters. And like I said before, the team did a great job being down at halftime, coming out after halftime in the 3rd and 4th quarter of finish of the game, and just playing for each other. So yeah.
What's your point of view on the DJ fake end around?
You said what?
The DJ run for a touchdown in the first quarter. What's your point of view in terms of?
Yeah, I mean,
what'd you see?
I was tired of that play. I'm so glad Luke called that play, but I mean, yeah, my job is just to fake the end around, and maybe they think we got a trick play or something coming up, but great blocking. I think DJ just walked in pretty much untouched, so great play calling, great blocking up front.
You ever had the seller run fake before? Is not.
Yeah, we did it a few times last year. I know we did it against Dallas, and then maybe another game, but yeah, we did it last year a few times.
What did you like when Luke installed that play? What did you like about the design, and kind of were you excited when that call came in?
I was excited because I was tired. That's the only reason I was excited. So, I just do my job, fake the little handoff, and, get a little breather. And then he scored, so that made it even better. But, I mean, yeah, I just treat it like a regular play and just do my job. It could be a big play, it could be not. So my biggest thing is just going out on that play and doing your job. And everybody did their job and turned out successful. So, yeah.
Justin, you said you guys left some stuff on the field offensively. Cole said his exact line was that you guys could have put 40 on him.
Yeah.
Today. What do you look at from your own game, a good game, and say, I can do more than this. I can do more in these areas?
You said, what do I look at?
In your game, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just what I messed up on. So, I know there are a few throws I missed. That dagger to DJ, I'm still sick about that one late in the game. But, I mean, yeah, there were multiple plays during the game where we could have executed it better. I think 3rd and short, the one to Moon, could have executed that better. It was a great play call. Got exactly what we thought we were going to get. And, I mean, yeah, but just the 3rd downs, and just to, throws downfield, of course, there were a couple back that I wanted back. But, end all, we won the game and, still room to get better. So, that's just, hope for the future.
What were the conversations like?
All right, there he is, Justin Fields. I like that he said he was most excited about the DJ Moore touchdown call because
he was tired.
He was tired. He didn't want to.
Go ahead.
But there's a call for TJ. I like it. Yeah, I mean, a little bit more detail on that 4th and 13 we were talking about. So now that we know exactly what it was and what we were hoping it basically was exactly what we hoped, but he threw in there that they had a dummy protection call in there. So he gets to the line. He basically, tries to make it look like they're running a real play by just calling a protection shift, and then they go on the hard count. The Lions are dumb enough to jump.
He called the Lions dummies. It's great.
No, he didn't. I called the Lions dummies. I called them dummies.
It's a dummy protection for you dummies.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe that's true, yeah. Lions jump, all go. Justin Fields throws it in the Hall of Fame.
Straight there. Right to Canton. Get him the blazer. Enough of what Braggs have been saying about Fields.
Hey, I'm just happy to see Don Burr in the chat. He was ducking his taco early in this show, and he finally showed up, showed his face.
Ducking his taco? Is that a thing?
That's the slang we use.
You understand every time you pound the football that people hear it.
Don't tuck.
Give me that football right now.
Thank you.
Second, who's we?
What do you mean we?
Name a second person who says that.
Everybody says it. Everybody in my spaces. Don't duck your taco. Don Burr, welcome. You got your ass whooped. How does it feel?
Way to show up, Don. You're a man. You're not playing around, Don. I respect it.
Justin overthrew so much, I literally couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he overthrew his way to a win.
We're going to overthrow the division. Taking the North and never giving it back. 2 in a row.
The Bears are so good that they are both taking the North and tanking the North at the exact same time. And everybody is going to have to deal with it when the Bears end the season on a 6-game winning streak, 1 playoff victory, and the number 1 overall pick.
Hey.
I want to see who the Lions are playing.
Tank watch.
Tank watch.
Still up there.
This is up to date.
With a 2-game lead now because Carolina officially lost it. They got killed today. And
by a bad Saints team.
By a bad Saints team who beat the Bears.
Well, and this was one thing that Gary did send to me that stood out with this whole tank watch with Carolina. They only need to lose 2 more times for the number 1 pick to be locked in. So we could have a Christmas Day gift that comes up. And, it seems like that the Panthers offensive coordinator's family is tweeting about how he is going to be fired at the end of the year, but they need somebody to call the plays. Like, you never know exactly where the family members are coming from and where they know these things, but it just shows you how toxic that organization is over there. And it's all but locked in that they have the number 1 pick. So now you're basically just looking at where the Bears are going to fall, kind of keeping an eye on strength of schedule, how it moves. The Texans losing today helps strength of schedule with New England moving up a notch, which ups the ante because that locks in the fact that Carolina would have to win 3 games here the rest of the year with only 4 to go. Team that only has 1 win on the season. I mean, it was 90% chance they'd have a chance to have the number 1 pick, the Bears, and I bet you that's moved up to 93, 95% at this point.
I just like that suddenly we find ourselves, Greg Braggs Jr. is our Steve Kornacki.
Yeah.
You notice how, and my mom used to say this growing up, I don't know how to do math at all. Was terrible in math class. But I understand
you were great at
sports
English,
math. If it means something to my sports team, then all of a sudden I become the Rain Man, and I can just understand all these numbers that I can never apply in the classroom.
You can understand 1 in 12?
No, it's about strength of schedule numbers.
He understands.
I just broke all that down. You didn't know any of that. because you're stupid.
And he wasn't listening, so he still doesn't know.
Rags, I'd be way more impressed if you could actually do the strength of schedule numbers and not just read them off a Tankathon.
Well, jeez. Don't I do enough around here?
I'm just looking at the Lions' schedule for the record, and I'm sure Don Burr knows it by heart, but I didn't. They've got Denver at home next week, loss. Then they go to Minnesota. Wouldn't mind if you won that game, to be honest. Then they get the Cowboys on the road, loss. And then they've got the Vikings at home to close it out. So the Bears are going to be very interested in what Detroit does the rest of the way, for the record. But if they do lose out, we can catch them.
So you're saying there's
catch
a
the
chance.
Lions?
Well, why not?
That seems a little extreme.
Well, you said take the North and you never give it back. The Lions are going to have to lose out for that to happen. They do have 9 wins.
I did not. First of all, he said that, and I was not being literal in whatever my response was.
But the point is that
I was trying to do a transition for the tank standings.
They play Minnesota twice.
Yeah, well, that's So what would honestly be better probably is the Lions, beat the Vikings.
Exactly.
Times. Of course, the Vikings would be nice if the Raiders beat the Vikings here too, in the next hour and a half.
That's right.
That would be nice as well. All right, are we gonna do a take 2 here on Grace Schneider?
Yeah, take 2.
Take 2, 1999.
Now, I did still have to add periods and other punctuation marks.
We're running this back?
She paid another $20.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, to try again. Yeah.
You broke Hoge's brain last
Greg.
time, so.
We appreciate the support. JF running.
Luke Getsy's plays.
See, the first time I had it.
Fields is running Getsy's calls, so we need patience with Fields as he's growing before our eyes. Getsy needs more creativity, so draft Marvin Harrison Jr., a center, a defensive end, and a safety. We need to remember the first year Justin Fields had nothing. The second year we were tanking.
Thank you, Grace.
That part
Thank you.
Yes.
I bet Lawrence is good at reading bedtime stories to his kids.
I am, actually.
You've got that good narrator.
I'm reading a tough one right
book
now.
Reading
It's very
voice.
depressing.
Tough bedtime story?
It's a chapter book about a dog that it's making me very sad.
Okay, let's not do that.
You're reading your child a sad dog book?
Well, they got to learn
She
about
chose
life
it.
somehow.
I don't know. Yeah.
Hang on, we got lots of time in the week to go over to Lawrence's bedtime stories.
I'm not surprised.
Bears just beat the Bears beat the Lions. They've won 2 in a row. I want to stay on focus here, and we're going to talk. Well, no, it's his first.
Yes, it is.
Okay. We're going to talk to Nicholas Moreano in 11 minutes, but somebody that we have.
Oh, we are 11.
I believe it's in 11 minutes. Yes, if I can do the math correctly.
Okay, well, take your time.
CHGO supported by Goose Island
Thank
Beer
you.
Company, Chicago's beer since 1988. They got Oktoberfest. They got the Beer Hug family, the entire Bear Hug and Beer Hug family. 312 Wheat Ale, Full Pocket Pills, Blackhawks Pale Ale. They got it all for you. Grab ultra fresh brewery exclusive beers at Goose Island's original brew house on Clybourne Avenue in Lincoln Park, or from their tap room on Fulton Street in Westtown. Goose Island Beer Company.
Chicago's beer. Like that?
Look at that synergy.
That's good. I like that. You
your
know what else
turn
is
now.
good?
Yeah.
FOCO. Hit up FOCO. Get fitted out in the best sports gear around. Hoodies, shoes, signs, bobbleheads, and everything in between. You're not going to be able to get a Shohei Ohtani Cubs bobblehead, unfortunately, so I'll just cry myself to sleep about that for the second night in a row. But you can get all sorts of apparel, baseball, football, basketball, hockey. They got it all. Everything you need for a game. Set decorations that you see here, in front of us, behind us. Some of these pieces have been donated from FOCO. They showed us some love, so make sure you go show them some love. Check out FOCO.com or click the link in the description below for all non-presale items. Use the promo code CHGO10 for 10% off.
I enjoyed being called a Cubs fan all yesterday.
Oh, my God.
That was fun. Got a glimpse of that. Because people just assumed, because I didn't think the Cubs should actually spend $700 million on a guy with one elbow.
It's the stupidest month of my life listening to these people around here. You, not the Cubs show. Talk about Ohtani.
No, the Cubs guys did a great job.
They were fantastic.
And if you go become a diehard, you can get all of their exclusive content too, as well as ours. We have a diehard sale going on right now. We almost never do this. Now's your time to sign up. If you sign up at that discounted price of $59.99 right now, you get it for a full year, and you keep that discounted price going forward. You're grandfathered in. You get a free T-shirt. You can have this box sent to you with your membership card, your T-shirt inside, and you get the box right in front of us here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can wrap that up, give it as a gift. It actually makes an outstanding gift. If you got a sports fan in your life that you're like, I got to get this, they're on the fence of becoming a diehard, well, that's the gift that you want to give this holiday season. And Crystal.
Join members like Crystal Simone.
Crystal, $4.99, keeping this simple. Bear down. I love defense, and boys, the defense is cooking. Bear down. And Crystal deserves it. You know what?
Crystal deserves it.
I believe the Bears are 2-0 since she became a diehard.
Yeah, I think that's true.
That's not part of the marketing. There seems to be a coincidence there that if you become a diehard, the Bears will win more games.
There you go.
I don't know.
That's just fact.
Yep. Or hit the like button.
Also, I'm not sure if George McCaskey's watching, but if he is, or anybody in the Bears organization, you need to reach out to Crystal and you need to extend an olive branch of something cool, because she is supporting you in ways that, quite frankly, you don't deserve. So she loves you to the end of the earth.
Also, if the show gets to 1,000 likes, the Bears will win out.
We're at 600.
Scientifically proven.
We can do it. There's 2,500 plus watching. We can get to 1,000. We guarantee a win out if we can get to 1,000. You want to do my notes?
I would like you to do your notes.
Okay, great. I'm going to do my notes.
Carm's notes.
Carm's notes, making its triumphant return.
They better be funny.
They're pretty funny. Well, first of all, my notes start today with Greg Braggs yelling at me at the start of the football game how I don't understand the gates at Soldier Field and how people have trouble getting through the gates, as if I've never been to a sporting event in my life, which is just...
You don't understand.
Okay, I don't understand.
Not all of us get to take the golden tunnel and golden elevator to the press box. Some of us got to go through South Lot and South Gate and take 9, because we were talking about how the stadium wasn't completely filled, and then it was filled right before kickoff. And I was explaining to this cushy media guy that it takes a minute for fans to get in.
Did you ever go to the old Soldier Field?
Yes, I did.
No, okay. Sure.
Also, not that I'm complaining.
I was at the last game at Soldier Field.
In our defense, we do deal with a press box that they forgot to build.
Okay. Don't act like I haven't been to games as a fan. It's just nauseating.
How many Bears games have you been to as a fan? In the last 20 years.
25?
Wow. You're a liar.
I've been to, I think, 3, and one was a preseason game.
You've been to 25. Hoge's been to 3. You're a liar.
I have not been to a Bears game since I started doing Bears post-game shows 8 years ago, okay? Because I'm working. But you don't act like I don't know how to go through the gates are crowded. Are you kidding?
I don't know how to go through the gates.
Who are you talking to? I'm offended by it.
I'm not offended, Greg.
All right, I wrote down the late hit on Fields, Campbell getting in there. I was super irritated. Adam Hoge, first run to Deontay Foreman. I told you to play Foreman. Don't doubt me, Hoge.
Well, we got asked a super chat, asked who to play, and I said avoid them all, but if I had to pick one, I'd go Foreman. I think that ended up being true. Because what were Foreman's final numbers today?
Not that many, but you can pull them up.
Yeah.
They splashed around. Early Bears sack. Kevin Koenig had a content. It looks like a real defense, and indeed it does.
11 carries, 50 yards. Yeah.
Cole Kmet had a catch. And then the next play was blocking Aiden Hutchinson. That was a sweet segment. Everybody was loving it, and except for one person here who was screaming at Cole Kmet.
You were mad at him.
Run his ass over, and then also saying somehow weirdly, as you look at his physique, if you want to call it that.
Don't look at my belly while you say that.
You say, Kmet is just like me. Kmet is an Adonis of a man, and you are you.
You can't even get through a sentence
without
coughing.
What I said was, me and Cole are similar in that we both think we're faster than we actually are. Like, I'm not saying Cole's not fast. It's just when he tries to take an angle to get around someone, I'm like, Cole, just go through the guy. You don't try to run around him or away from him. turn around and knock his ass out because you're way bigger than him and stronger than him. And I'll talk to him about it on Tuesday about it.
You guys are exactly the same.
We're exactly the same.
When I
He's
think
going to
about Cole
agree
Kmet,
because I know Cole thinks just like me. He's going to agree.
Right. No, you guys are identical. Couldn't be more alike.
I want to throw up.
I
right
mean,
now.
he's the best.
He did it in the Minnesota game, too.
Okay. That
Cole
was amazing.
Kmet never goes down.
He's having an unbelievable season. Last thing I need now is just for him to stop trying to run away from people and just run them the fuck over.
Okay.
Moving along, pitch to DJ Moore on 4th and 1 makes the cut here. We've already talked about that. The 4th and 3, Goff throws down the field to Peoples-Jones, and Hoge is having a meltdown on Tremaine Edmonds.
Oh, yeah. Look, first of all, that was a great throw by Goff, and he was barely open. Like, I'm not even sure he was open. It was the definition of throwing him open. But if you're going to pay a linebacker $72 million because he can cover a lot of ground in the middle of the field, like that, you just got to get more depth there. You can't allow that to happen. Also, I thought from that point on, Edmonds played really well, so I'm not that upset at Edmonds. But that one play was... This is exactly why they signed him, to cover that ground. And he got a pick at the end of the game, too. Second time he's had an interception on Jared Goff in the last month.
It was thrown right to him. But, yes, Tremaine had some moments there. All right, let's go to the second half. Bragg starts the second half. You just wanted to tell everybody about TV volume and how you live at home with the TV volume at 100 because it helps with your ADD and ADHD. And I'd like to have a shout out to your wife Jenny because I'm just imagining your house with you screaming and the TV screaming and Addie screaming.
If I don't have it all the way up, if you're not screaming directly in my face, there's a very good chance I can't hear you, nor am I listening to you.
Also, shout out to Jenny, who spent 2 straight evenings with Greg this weekend.
She is married to me, so she's had to spend 20 years.
Yeah, but
me.
back-to-back days on a weekend that's a lot.
Yep,
It's like the opposite of a weekend, really.
Whining
Still
and dining
working.
her, showing her a great time. What an awful life she lives.
She wine and dined you.
Whining and dining her is offensive.
It's whining with WH.
I was whining.
This party was not a wine and dine.
I was whining when I lost in ping pong on Friday night, and then I was whining for the first half of the Purdue-Bama game.
Okay.
That's true.
Shout out to Jaquan Brisker and his 17 tackles, 13 solo, and also his celebration on the throw to Jamison Williams where he did absolutely nothing, but he just sits there and does the bird thing.
Like the bird thing.
So the chat explained that this means no fly zone.
No fly zone. I got it. Okay, no fly zone. Velus Jones had a catch, and Braggs was yelling, "Velus bust." What? I thought that was funny. Let's see here. Oh, what is it? Is it Anzalone?
Yeah.
Anzalone.
Alex Anzalone.
Yeah. We were just, as we were watching him make some plays out there and hitting people, we kind of wondered if there's any questionable tweets in the past of one Anzalone. Not to, just to speculate. I think we need to go through his Twitter move, see what we could find.
Then how about the 2 fans that looked like Anzalone, the Lions fans in the stands?
Yeah, they dress like him.
Check their Twitter, too. Head of content, Kevin Kadick, Trent Taylor. Is there a bigger zero than Trent Taylor?
Hey, he had his 2 best punt returns
right
of the
after
season.
that. He had a great punt
He
return.
did, but so Kev, I laughed so hard when he said it because to this point in the season, all he's ever done is just catch the punt. That's all he does.
That's why they signed him.
Better than Velus.
Don't have a muff.
Yeah.
Great season.
Yes,
And today he actually had a couple good returns to go with it. Good for him.
Adam Hoge, mid-third quarter. Why is this game so unenjoyable?
I was struggling a little bit. That was right before I also think I said, I'll let you do your notes. See if you caught it.
Lawrence Benedetto flipped to Kari, where Fields was going down, and he flips it up, and Kari blasts the game, catches it, and loses 2 yards. Lawrence Benedetto. It was just like Patrick Mahomes, except for everything.
That was a funny line. It was actually very well said, and that's exactly.
I mean, it was so stupid. It's the dumbest thing ever.
Like a crazy flip, and then catches it for a 2-yard loss.
And then the last one was at the end of the game, the only thing that somebody was doing in the studio was just screaming at as loud as he possibly could. Brisky! Because he wasn't making any tackles.
On 3rd and 10, where they gave up the first down to David Montgomery on the check down, like, because Adam kept messing with me, because I was like, I honestly felt like, screw it. I'm going to say this because I don't even care about the jinx, because I am very superstitious when I watch games. But I was like, with 4 minutes to go, they're up 2 scores, 15 points, whatever. I'm like, they are not losing this goddamn game. And Hoge's like, yes, they are, Greg. Yes, they are. And it just like drives my blood pressure up. And I know in the back of my head he might be right. He's betting the other side of it to hedge and get some money if the Bears do blow it. And then they give up that first down on 3rd and 10. And yeah, I blew a gasket, okay? Brisker missed the damn tackle. Had all these tackles and he misses that tackle. David Montgomery, that's another aspect of it that I can't let him get loose. Because then Hoge's going to make fun of me about that too.
You could say I was poking the teddy bear a little bit.
Yeah, they know. I walk in every game day angry. That's just, I'm angry.
Yeah, but you're
I'm excited,
you're
but then
teddy
there's
bear.
this angry side of me, and they're like, we're going to pull this out of him a little more.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. I would also like to give myself a game ball.
Okay.
Because I usually sit over there, and things were going so bad that I decided to change seats, and I went over there by you guys, which I apologize. You probably were trying to be away from me. But
That's how it started. Beginning of the year, I was like, I'm going over here. You guys are over there.
I know.
You guys are bugging me. I can't pay attention.
I know.
Then I go over there, and now you guys have followed me over here.
Well, I moved over there, and I wasn't going to stay
Shows
over
how
there.
much you guys
But
want
from
to
the-
drive me crazy.
The point I moved over there to the end of the game, the Bears dominated, so I didn't move the entire time. So, game ball me.
I'd also like to give myself a game ball. I have won now 5 straight Chicago Bears bets. Darnell Mooney over 24.5 today. Thank you very
Good.
much.
I didn't get my defensive touchdown.
Roshan Johnson over 23.5 rushing yards against the Vikings. Winner. Took the Lions giving 3.5 in the ridiculous 31-26 loss. That one cashed. Shouldn't have, but it did. Montez Sweat getting a sack against the Lions. Cashed it. Thank you very much. And that is 5 wins in a row for yours truly.
Pretty good. Nice.
No.
See, now while these, I can't even have the ball. You guys
cannot.
get the ball. I can't have
You
the
cannot.
ball.
No, the ball's
'Cause I was
done.
going to give one more game ball out. But that's
Go
fine.
ahead. Give out the game ball.
And it's not to me. You guys gave yourselves game balls. Me, guys. I'm giving a game ball to Ryan Poles. Because I just continue to love what this guy's doing here. Game ball to Ryan Poles. Still can't have the ball. Ryan Poles.
cannot.
Dude, Montez Sweat, like we talked about earlier, it's a home run trade. Home run trade, and you got him locked up. The DJ Moore trade last year, oh, by the way, that is now the number 1 pick in the draft. I mean, that what more can you ask for? And you're building through the draft. You're getting players. You're starting to stack the deck, building the foundation. Like we talk about, there's a goddamn brick on this set for a reason. Brick by brick. And it's starting to come together. And at times, when we were stacking the brick, we're like, don't spill that on Hoge now. Careful, Hoge. At times, sometimes a course didn't look pretty. We're like, well, we might have to tear this wall down. And you stack another course, stack another course. Before you know it, we might have ourselves a wall. And it's exciting that we're getting there. I'm starting to really see the vision come together. And as a Bears fan, that's all I want. This team should be competitive this year. They're inching their way towards it. And I'll try my best to let go of the Denver and Detroit game. But to be in the hunt and to have the number 1 pick is a home run for any general manager. And they have, I'm not like the in the hunt stuff we're talking about right now is somewhat tongue in cheek. They're in it. They're 2 games back in the loss column. Win a couple more games, and I'll start sculpting the statue right now for Ryan Poles. You get my game ball.
I mean, if the Vikings lose this game and the Packers lose tomorrow, I'm not sure they're going to lose to the Giants, but I also think that'll be closer than some people think. They are right there. Look,
The bottom line is they should have 2 more wins. I mean, he's turned the roster around. He has.
You could say, I believe a famous bricklayer I know would say that as the GM's been doing this brick by brick. He's been dead nuts.
Dead nuts. That Montez Sweat trade was dead nuts. Nice
The
move.
DJ Moore trade was dead nuts.
Dead nuts.
If he flips that now, first of all, that trade already is one of the greatest trades in Bears history if they do end up with the #1 pick, which is looking pretty likely. And Darnell Wright pans out because you got to hit the draft pick too. But so far he has.
Hey, he got his penalty today.
He got his 1 penalty per game that he averages. He got that in right at the end. Good job by him. But he's been good, without a doubt. And you flip this one now, and then you add that into whatever the ledger ends up being. Like, let's say he flips it again, gets another big-time player, and drafts well with wherever they pick, with 2 first-round picks this year. Like, it could be pretty remarkable. That's your guy, Ryan Poles. He's doing a great job.
Now, remember, the Packers and the Vikings, by the way, are both in the playoffs right now. The Packers have a very winnable schedule. Giants today, although it is on the road. Let's go. They're, what's his face?
The game's tomorrow night, but
I mean tomorrow night, Monday night, excuse me.
Tommy DeVito.
Let's go Tommy DeVito. Then they got the Bucs at home, at Carolina, which could be a nice little clinch for the Bears. Then at Minnesota, then the Bears. So, not exactly the toughest schedule ever.
Bears are going to win by 30 in Week 18.
Let's go.
3 teams from the North in the playoffs.
Probably not. I think the Vikings are going to fall out. The Packers are going to fall out. It's going to be the Lions and the Bears.
I see.
Right, Nicholas Moreano? Right, Nick? With your CHGO Right, Nick? Nick Wright?
He's our Nick Wright.
He's our Nick Wright at Soldier Field. He's got his CHGO hat on. So he's saying he's growing out his hair.
Yeah, that's exactly right, though, Adam. They're going to, would you say, win by 30 against the Green Bay Packers Week 18? Hell yeah. Let's go. Lambeau Field. It's going to happen.
Okay. I agree.
I love that Nick sounds good. It looks good. This is so exciting. I can't wait for this segment. Nick, good to see you. Why don't we start with your conversation with Lucas Patrick on the 4th down play, and he was right in the middle of that. We haven't given any credit to the center and how he handled that moment, helping whatever he did to get the Lions to jump.
Yeah, so that it took all 11 to really execute that play there, Mark, and just on that 4th down throw to DJ, how Lucas Patrick described it was just a master of situational ball and just, again, well executed by everyone. And he said, like, you know, executing on a play like that, it's one guy doing their job, but it takes all 11 individuals to do their job to really make something like that happen. But it was something that when you speaking to some of the other players like Cole Kmet in the locker room, they didn't expect it because they're just basically around the 50-yard line and, you know, just expecting maybe they'll draw him off sides and that's about it. But when you see a guy like Hutchinson come off, then it's something that they have been practicing. And actually Justin Fields said earlier this week, they had 3 times in practice where that same exact situation came up. So they knew exactly how to run that play, how to execute it. And Matt Eberflus was kind of saying with that type of play, there are a couple options there, but one of them is just an all-go. And that's what you saw DJ Moore do, and that's how you saw Justin Fields capitalize it. And, you know, a really big play for the Bears to, you know, capitalize on that. I think there was a play, was it maybe last year or 2 years ago, where maybe it was against Green Bay where Justin Fields ended up throwing an interception off of a hard count that we thought was really well executed. There was no penalty flag thrown, but here against Detroit, everyone did their job, and they were able to get a touchdown out of it.
Yeah, and I liked, you know, Flus also mentioned that the great thing about that, running those free plays, is because the defense usually will, like, hesitate after they jump off sides. And at minimum, the guy that jumps off usually, you know, he takes a step backward, so his momentum's going again. You know, you're basically taking the rush out of it there in that moment. And, you know, it's just refreshing, right, Nick? Because we've seen this so many times in the past where the Bears are not the team executing this. 4th and 13, you're just not thinking they're going to jump off, but they do, and just the execution all around. It's a lot of good coaching there, and it's a lot of good execution.
No doubt about it. It's something that, you know, we had not seen from this Bears team. Usually they're on the opposite end of, you know, those types of plays. But there was a point of emphasis coming out of halftime, you guys, where, you know, they knew Eberflus' message was they needed to one, just work on the fundamentals and execute. And I know we hear it all the time, but that really is a difference in a play like that working and obviously going in a complete different direction. But The fundamentals were there. The execution was there from all 11. And Cole Kmet said he did kind of like a poker face, looked over at Darnell Mooney acting like they were going to switch the route beforehand so to make it look a little bit more believable. And what Justin was also saying is that you just got to treat it like a normal play because you can oversell those types of plays, right, where you know they're not going to run a play. And if you just treat it like a normal play and then execute it to each individual's assignment, you end up with a touchdown like that to DJ Moore.
Did Kmet double down on his run the table that she said earlier this week on Monday?
He did, Mark. He did say that, this result honestly doesn't matter if they don't do exactly that, run the table. So he said that they were in playoff mode last week. That's still continuing this week. And obviously it was a good victory for the Bears, but it means nothing if they cannot, finish out this season, 4 games left, and maybe get to that 9-8 record that he mentioned early last week. But he thinks that is still the mindset that this Bears team needs to have as they're kind of approaching the last stretch of games. And again, they know 21 days ago they had a far different result, far different feeling against this team at Ford Field. It needed to start today at Soldier Field with a victory, and they were able to accomplish that today.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, what I think I was most impressed about was it wasn't necessarily like a dynamic win. It was just a methodical ass whooping, and it felt like the better team won. And it feels crazy to say when you look at where the Lions are at and where the Bears have been this year, but it did feel like, yeah, this is what should happen. Going back to the secondary, I'm starting to really get impressed with, like, these guys are starting to really gel. At one point during the game, there was some communication pre-snap as there was motion. Kyler Gordon tapped on his head. Jalen Johnson, Tyreek Stevenson, Kyler Gordon, all on the same page. They completely shut the play down. I think they caused maybe a sack in the backfield because of it. They're flying around. Jalen Johnson gets a pick. I mean, they're really ascending at this point. I don't know. Like, I just hope that they can keep this unit around because I think they're a special group.
Yeah, they're playing really good football right now. I think the communication level between these secondary players and continuity, like, that's something that maybe we take for granted when it's on the field. But there was a lot of times this season where you just didn't have your starting secondary all out there at the same time. And I think you're seeing the benefits of continuity at all 3 levels for the defense. And hey, I know we kind of joke about this, but ever since Phil Snow, got here, like, there has been a change. Of course, you add in Matt Eberflus taking the play calling, but this defense is humming. And, of course, it always helps to get a guy like Montez Sweat. I mean, he literally grabbed Jared Goff by almost, not a horse collar, but he got his jersey, like, you're not getting away from me. So you add in all these pieces now, and Eberflus actually was asked a question about this, like, do you have all the pieces now where you don't have to overcompensate? And he basically said yes. So now that he has the pass rush, he has a secondary with the continuity that they have, he's able to run his defense. And we're seeing the results, the turnovers they're able to create. And look, I can tell you this, Jared Goff hates playing this defense. Just look at the results and look at all the turnovers that have happened. You're starting to see, just a really dominant defense. And guys, Jaquan Brisker, 17 total tackles. Like, that's nuts. So Eberflus was kind of talking about that in his press conference today, and he said, isn't that crazy? And he made a joke. It sounds like my college stats. It's unbelievable. But he's like, I don't think he's ever seen anything like that, and that's why ultimately they draft a guy like Jaquan Brisker because he brings that energy. You see it every single time he's out there on the field. He's doing his little arrow celebration. Whether or not he makes the play or not, I think that spreads to the rest of his teammates, and that's why you're seeing all three levels really meshing right now.
Somebody call the Toledo SID department. I want to know if Flus ever had double-digit
tackles.
tackles.
I was going to say, that actually does sound unbelievable.
Hey, wait, he already called out Trustman for his numbers. Let's not get to another coach.
I don't need to be in Twitter beef tonight with Eberflus. One coach a weekend's good for me. How about a CHGO T-shirt idea or holiday sweater idea? Mm-hmm. Let it snow with, like, the snowflake doing the bird thing that no-fly zone.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot going on in that shirt.
It is. Okay, brick by brick that has hits principle in it.
Don't hate on Eric. Eric's our design guy.
No, I'm hating on you, not Eric.
Slow down over there. Don't be hating on the vision, Eric.
Well, maybe we need a no-fly
it.
zone thing if that's really a thing that's going on.
No-fly zone and a Phil Snow shirt. We'll have
Doesn't
both.
everyone do no-fly zone? I feel like that's not very original.
Yeah, but how many people do Let It Snow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, you guys hate Christmas. And I hope Santa gives
Nope,
you coal.
just Thanksgiving.
My head's in a slightly different space, but I'll just, let that marinate for a little while longer. We don't need a shirt. We need a song. And I'm going to work on it.
I came up with a song for Flus in the middle of the game. You weren't even listening to me.
Nick, Jervon Dexter got his first sack of his career, too. This is another guy that continues to ascend.
Half a sack.
Was it a half a sack?
Half a sack.
Half a sack.
so, yeah.
Half a sack.
Justin Jones has another half a sack. Please stop kicking me, and please listen to the show. Do you have a question?
Jervon Dexter, yes. Yeah. Jervon Dexter, yeah. No, he's been doing
They
well.
cut me off.
What's your question?
No question. Just go, Nick.
He's not a puppet. You have to ask him a question.
Okay, great. Jervon Dexter was great. Here's the question, Nick. You listen to Fields. What stood out for you in the Fields press conference?
Well, I think it was, even though obviously the Bears had a dominant victory over the Detroit Lions, like they felt like they still left a lot out there, you guys. Cole Kmet said they probably should have put 40 on them in this game, and there were some throws that Justin Fields would like to have back, and there was a deep throw in the middle of the field late in the game where I think the ball just got away from him. It just sailed over top, and unless DJ Moore was like 8 feet tall, he didn't have a chance at catching that ball. There was a third down and short to Darnell Mooney where I don't know if it was a throw or the route from Mooney. They were just a little bit off, but I think that's despite the victory, like this team is looking to still make those necessary corrections that they need to make to really put themselves in a position to, like Cole Kmet was saying, run the table. So it was a good victory for Justin Fields, and he felt like, I think ultimately he was okay with his game, but he still left some plays out there. He was also saying on the after the fourth down play where obviously the Bears don't convert on what should have been the tush push, but it was by design to pitch it out to DJ Moore. That was by design. He just knows that there are going to be ups and downs in a football game. And I think all Bears fans, we know that it would not be a Bears game if it, was a clean football game. There's going to be those moments, and, just staying even keel, didn't personally leave. Like, I think what he was saying that the team did a good job coming out of halftime, finishing the game, but it's having the right mentality that even a swing like that where they don't convert, Detroit actually goes and scores a touchdown that drive, they're able to stay mentally locked in. And I think Justin Fields is one of the best players on this team that kind of represents always being locked in. And, it kind of showed even after that moment how they came out after halftime, what the defense was able to do, and the back-to-back touchdown drives, the back-to-back touchdowns that Justin Fields was able to create. So I think that's just how he operates, and that kind of really, just trickles down to the rest of the football team.
One last question. Somebody just brought it up in the chat, and I think it's a good point.
It would actually be your first question.
That would be my first question. So,
do you have one?
I do have one because somebody brought it up in the chat. Do you know how many screens were called today on the offense? Because somebody in the chat saying no screens were called. And
I can't think of one.
Typically, I black out during the game, so I have no idea what happened. But now that I'm starting to look back and think about this, I can't remember one either. And that's a really good point because, Eberflus talked during the week about having to go downfield more after the Minnesota game, and then they don't give me that look, and they don't throw any screens. And I want to know from the expert analysts, Hoge and Nick, did a screen get called today? Not you, resident jackass.
Nick, resident jackass.
I was just waiting for a question. I was wondering when it was going to come.
Well, we all know
later.
The first thing Luke Getsy does when the game's over is give Nick his play call sheet from the game. So were there any screens on there?
Nick takes notes.
I do take notes, but I can't remember if there was a screen like you guys.
I remembered it. They ran. They tried to run one to DJ Moore, a tunnel screen on the outside, and he got tackled right away.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So, hey, I think there was a smart individual who joined pregame from Soldier Field. Wasn't wearing this hat, but also said the screen game probably not going to be a big part of this game because again, Detroit what Justin Fields is saying, they really scheme based off the defense that they're going to play. And you look at this defense, they give up plays downfield. And like Justin Fields is saying, they missed some. So I don't think they thought that the screen game was the way to beat this Detroit Lions defense. So that's why you saw more deep shots. You saw less of the screen game. And even though you didn't have a guy like EQ, you didn't need him in this one because you're able to do enough. But like I said, they still left some plays out there.
Yeah, that Mercedes Lewis play too. I
Slip
think
screen.
I have to go back and watch it to see if we're technically calling that a screen or
Yeah,
not.
he just like flared it out.
We're not.
But
That was
I'm surprised they didn't make Carm's notes because the second that ball got thrown over to Mercedes Lewis, I said, delete that from the playbook now.
I probably was sleeping at that point with the Bargers beef coma.
in.
But yes, no, I should have wrote that down. That's not a screen. Nick, last one before you go for me at least. Did you give me something you saw in the locker room today that people would want to know about that weren't there that you thought was cool? Somebody excited, somebody sad, somebody something.
Cole Kmet's Cubs hat.
What a great question.
Get a new hat, Cole.
It was different.
It is.
Yeah, no, a good hat if you're a Cubs fan. Trying to think here. I just looking back at the locker room. You know, it was nice seeing an interaction between Jaquan Brisker and like Jalen Johnson. Their lockers are pretty close by each other, but I think it was just that like satisfaction of the win streak, but they just overly excited. And we know that Jaquan Brisker is an emotional guy. You see it on the field, but it's just when going back to this locker room, there hasn't been a lot of that. So when you kind of even see any type of even minimal celebration, you take note of it. So it was nice seeing that. I did ask Jaquan about, like, he had a great game, you guys, 17 total tackles. I'm like, you should have had a pick 6, right? And he looked at me, kind of rolled his eyes. I'm like, man, I just didn't, I read the route right. And I just didn't put my hands together. So he's like, got to work on that. But I think just seeing like those little things that, again, we haven't seen consistently enough, especially here at Soldier Field, that counts. And going back to my quick conversation with Lucas Patrick, he's like, this locker room right now, you guys, it has trust. Trust that we're going to get these things done. Trust that, the guy next to you is going to do the right thing. And, you never know what can happen coming off a win streak, 2 in a row. So it's nice seeing that continuity and, the overall trust that all these individuals have in the locker room right now.
How many people in the press box were talking about my Twitter beef with Mark Trestman?
I can't say it trickled down to my end where Herb Howard and I were at, but
okay.
Yeah. I don't think I even saw it, Adam. What did you do?
I didn't do anything, and Mark and I are cool.
He was bullying Mark Trestman.
He bullied Trestman on Twitter because Trestman tried to celebrate his tenure with the Bears, and Hoge just was a straight jerk.
I'm a bad guy. He deleted the tweet. You know why? Because it was wrong.
We could have had Mark Trestman on the show. He could have been in studio. Now Trestman's like, screw you, Hoge. Ain't doing CHGO Bears.
I spin zone that. I think we increase the likelihood of having Mark Trestman on the show.
We're getting. Can we get? That's the one thing I want. I want Tresty. We want Tresty.
Tresty, we trusty? Okay.
We love you, Tresty.
Nick.
Time heals all Tresty wounds.
Appreciate you, man. We'll be reading you allchgo.com, all the great Twitter updates on X at Nicholas Moreano.
All right, you guys. See ya.
There he goes.
See you, Nick.
Show the hair, you coward.
To his point about trust, the team trusting each other.
He's growing out his hair and he's wearing a hat.
Yeah. To his point about trust, Chicago Bears defensive lineman Montez Sweat said about that Matt Eberflus deserves a lot of credit for continuing to keep this team together. And I quote, "This is a really tight group. Eberflus is a great coach. He keeps us motivated. A lot of respect for him as a coach."
Who said that?
Montez Sweat.
Wow. Okay. He's been drinking the Bears Kool-Aid. 1999 from the Duke, heading out.
Sweat also wasn't here the first 4 weeks in the season.
There you go. Heading out for the night is the Duke. You know what I could really use right now? I could use a 20-minute car monologue here. Topics can range from softball to obscure D2 football players with similar names to someone else. Should I do that on Spaces or should I do that here? Because I have a lot of thoughts.
Not here, please God. But
Duke?
you and the Duke can get on Spaces and hash that out, I think.
Did you hear, per Patrick Finley on X, that this is the first time the Bears have won a game out of the bye in 10 years?
That's
By the way, I've seen Patrick Finley on X. It's crazy.
Stop calling it X.
Yeah,
It's I don't like it. I'm gonna make a joke about it every time.
It's Twitter.
It's Twitter.
It's Twitter. It's not X. I'm not calling. I'm not calling. What's that? Exactly. F you, Elon. I'm calling it Twitter. Ain't no X. Get out of here.
That's crazy. 10 years since they won out of the bye.
I like. Yeah, it sounded
opposite of Andy Reid.
unbelievable.
By the way, Andy Reid's losing to the Bills right now, 14-7. Vikings score update, still tied with the Raiders, 0-0. What a game that is. 1:11 left in the third quarter. Let's fire through super chats. We will end the show.
1999 Big Cram.
Get those. I told you, if we get to 1,000 likes, the Bears are going to win out. Believe me, I'm guaranteeing it. 1999 from Big Cram. I'm a Caleb guy through and through, but the thought of Brock Bowers and Marvin Harrison Jr. with Justin gets me excited, and Braggs could have, should have, would have. Maybe the team needed those heartbreaking losses to learn how to win. 9-8. Here we come.
Yeah. Whether they needed them or not,
it's the situation they're in.
They got them.
I like that spin zone, though.
Good spin, Big Cram. That's why you're my hero.
Hawkeye, $20. Bears win. Let's effing go, boys. Happy to see it, and this was the aggressiveness we need to see on offense. Bear down.
Thank you, Hawkeye. What's up?
John Greenberg's response to Patrick Finley's tweet. You're going to like this, Hoge. He says, I believe that 27-20 win over Green Bay in 2013 was one of Mark Trestman's 28 primetime victories over 2 seasons. I'll have to check the numbers.
Come on, Greenberg.
To whiteboard it as quick as possible. Trestman tweeted last night about Josh McCown's game against the Cowboys in 2013, and he tried to say that the Bears went 7-1 in primetime under his watch. They really went 6-4, and I, off the top of my head, could think of 3 terrible primetime losses. There's actually 4 of them. They were all bad, and I just couldn't let it go. And then Trestman responded to me, and then I felt bad about it, and then I didn't sleep well, and then he deleted the tweet. And now I feel like a bad guy.
And old man Mark Trestman on Twitter just trying to have an enjoyable Saturday, and Hoge's got to come out of nowhere and be like, and actually not, Mark.
We're going after former Bears coaches on Twitter. I'll take Wanstead tonight.
No, you're not.
First of all,
Dave Wanstead alone.
Wani's not dealing with your Twitter nonsense. Okay?
No, he won't.
And Wani will kill you.
And Wani's not on Twitter.
And also, Wani's awesome.
I like Wani.
1999, Ben Wunderlich. Just wanted to post a victory chat. I'm still in on Fields for the future. In the first round, draft Marvin Harrison Jr. Draft a center. Get more weapons. Bear down. Draft
Gonna be a tough decision for Ryan Poles.
Stephen Brody. I think I actually said that right. $20. Another evaluation no one is talking about. Can Bagent be QB1 if they keep Justin Fields? He's never played a full season.
Oh, goodness.
What?
Oh, my God.
Can Bagent be QB1 if they keep Justin Fields? He's never. You're saying, can Bagent be the backup?
Oh, he's saying, can he be a legitimate starter because Justin Fields will get hurt if they keep him?
Yeah, I understand.
That's where he's going.
Hey, don't worry about Tyson Bagent. He'll be fine when he gets his next opportunity. I'm not going to say if.
To answer your question, Brian, or I guess that was Ben. You switched it on me. Sorry, it was Ben.
Stephen Broadhay.
Steven. One of the 3 guys we just talked to. I apologize. The thing got off the screen there. I'm sorry. I think the Bears do have a legitimate backup quarterback that they can and will develop into a trustworthy guy. He already went 2-2 this year as the starter when he needed to, which is what you want your backup to do. So thank you for the super chat, Steven. And I do like Tyson Bagent as the future and current backup of the Chicago Bears. Not starter, Carm.
Suit yourself, Hoge.
Next up, Brian Marshall, $10. Eberflus. So you want to replace me with Ben Johnson, do you? In my face.
Yep.
In my face.
Ben Johnson, OC, Lions, for people who don't know.
Russell G, 10.
Australian?
Finally getting up at 4:30 a.m. to watch the Bears was finally worth it.
You're the man, Russell.
I do believe that's a badger in his avatar, which is pretty cool.
Badgers are a great animal.
Good day, mate.
Also, congrats to the women's volleyball team from Wisconsin for making the Final Four. That was another thing I tweeted about on Saturday night. College volleyball is one of the more stressful viewing experiences you can have. I think I've decided the 2 most stressful sporting experiences you can have watching sports, college volleyball and NHL playoff hockey.
I'll just say this. I was the public address announcer. This is for you, Duke. I was the public address announcer for Northern Illinois University. And I did their football, but I also did their volleyball, and I was 25 years old. I should not have been allowed to do public address for volleyball. I was not mature enough to handle it. That was just
a crazy sport. Professor Fumbledore, $10.
Fumbledore.
Like, once again, this is his second super chat of the show, and now he laughs at the second one. Wasn't paying attention the first time. Does the field replacement talk calm down? He was very Hurts today. Well, I'll take Jalen Hurts.
It'll be very interesting to see what they talk about with Justin on this show and elsewhere, Fumbledore.
I was going to say they. How about us?
Well, it's going to be talked about in every corner of the city. I'm not even talking about
Yeah, but no one
radio,
listens
TV.
to any other show but ours. So what are you even
That's
talking about?
an excellent point.
Yeah.
There is no other shows.
Orange and Blue, Blood, Brett.
Including the one that Hoge's going to do after 5 minutes after this
That show doesn't exist. But in 12 minutes at 5:30, it will exist. Hogan Johns. $10. Just in case, I see what you did there. Nobody noticed. QB1 was a soldier on the field. It's time we commit to this team. Bear down.
Huh?
Sorry, didn't mean to, Braggs.
I don't know why you're apologizing to me unless you think I'm not a fan of all those dad jokes and puns, which I am. That was a greatly worded super chat, so keep them coming.
Totally off
Just
topic.
need more acronyms to throw Hoge off his trail.
Yeah, that one. See, the dad jokes I was like right on. Yeah, smooth sailing. I get through those.
Yeah.
Just don't acronym me to death.
Yeah, you did great.
Also, I don't understand why we can't get the Army-Navy game back at Soldier Field. Seems like a perfect spot for it. Seth Crane, $10.
Belichick.
What?
We got enough.
Belichick doesn't.
We got enough punts going on at Soldier Field.
Oh, the field today looked a little iffy. Should have asked Nick about that.
Bring him back.
Play that frustrated me the most, this is from Seth, $10, is the completion to Kmet in the first, where Anzalone almost tips it. No anticipation and stared Kmet down. Was a completion, but just drove me nuts. Hashtag still believe in JF1. I'm with you, Seth. I still believe, but there were a lot of that today. I believe right before the 4th and 13, I might have said something to Kevin Kadek that this might have been Justin's worst game of the season.
I remember that. I didn't write it down because
But the game wasn't over yet, and he made the big play. And then he also overthrew
I just
Kmet
wonder
later on in the
how
touchdown.
the narrative would feel if we didn't have the number 1 pick, because I think how we're evaluating him is very harsh and very direct, and I think a lot of it surrounds because you're bouncing it off of this decision they have to make. And if they didn't have that decision and they didn't have a number 1 and there was like the number 9 and number 13 pick, how would the narrative feel about the progression that Justin Fields is making and looking forward to the rest of the year?
I still think it would be
next year.
Yeah, I still think we'd be talking about it a lot, but we would just be talking about it in the context of should they pick up his 5th-year option or not. Right. I think that would be the conversation. And it wouldn't be so immediate to now because we're tracking these draft picks and we understand that there's some really good quarterbacks available. This one you might find funny. This is from Professor Fumbledore.
What a great name. Haven't heard that one before.
$10. If Getsy can start beating opponents, God damn it, we read this one.
I was going to say, did we read this?
That was the first one I read that he
sorry.
missed. So maybe I should read it again.
I missed
just for
it again.
Greg. Court J, $9.99. What about moving Phil Snow up to defensive coordinator so Flus can just focus on the offense?
This is hysterical.
They're both Marinelli guys. They got him in October. We've been getting better since.
Why do we want Flus focusing on the offense?
Well,
Things have finally turned around on defense.
The other,
well, you know what?
This defense coordinator is too good. Let's take away his play call.
No, he's saying Phil Snow is actually the secret defensive coordinator.
The fact of the matter is that Snow is getting. I love that he's getting all this acclaim, but nobody's heard from the guy. We don't even know if he actually exists.
You've got to get the Phil Snow exclusive.
I do.
You have to be
All
a
right.
man for this job. Enough's enough. 15 turnovers since he got here.
I mean,
Slow it up.
I asked Flus about snow a couple Fridays ago, and I've never seen the Flus get so smiley. He was so happy that I brought up snow. What's Phil Snow done for this team? Well, let me tell you, the snow. I
think you bring up a decent point. What if they never actually did hire Phil Snow?
Phil Snow could just be a name, and it's
Flus's
actually
alter ego.
It could be Alan Williams in disguise.
Well, he doesn't have to be in disguise.
The defense has gotten better.
What's that?
Well, first of all, it's not Alan Williams, because everything's gotten better. And two, he doesn't have to be in disguise because no one's seen or heard him. There's no disguise.
Right.
It's just a...
Should I literally...
I think we're all getting catfished.
Should I try to sneak away from where they make the media go at Hallis Hall and start just snooping around looking for an office?
Yes,
if you were to do that, I would not talk about it live on a TV show.
No, you should.
I would never do that, but I mean, I think you could kind of get that done.
The search for snow.
All right, we got to fly through these. I got to go.
Is there? Can you point me where Phil Snow's office is?
Or you guys, can keep going.
How would if I call and ask for?
How did guys? He's talking.
How did your voice get stronger throughout the show?
Right here.
You drinking steroid tea?
Yep.
Jay Vinus, $9.99. 2 interceptions on 4th down. Our defense is full of me guys trying to pad their stats.
Okay.
Imagine having that take after the best win.
I think it was just a joke at Carm.
Okay. I take it back. Great super chat. Isaac Siegel, $5. Don't want to overreact, but I just wanted to say that because he Fields slowly showing up since calling out Getsy. Need 4 more like it, but getting closer to extension time. Clayton Stocker, $5. Finally, I can't remember a time when we actually executed a free deep play pass for a TD. What many teams do, but I haven't seen in forever. How many more super chats do we have, by the way?
Just 10 here.
Okay, Big Cram, $4.99. Oh, what's up with the Lions constantly throwing themselves at players that were already down? Glad some of the players stood up to that BS. I agree with you. That's what that little kerfuffle right before halftime was when they were going to the locker room, because they did it again. The first guy tackled Fields completely legitimately, and then another guy came in and just landed on him.
Yep, Montez Sweat on the sidelines for that one play that the Lions did get a flag for. That was great to see. I love seeing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and Lucas Patrick's always been the guy to do that. Tevin Jenkins has always been the guy to do that, no question. At least we flipped that here. And I go back to Ryan Poles mentioning that when he first got hired as something he noticed on film watching, that the Bears didn't do that. So I'm glad they fixed that. Helps the mentality of the entire team. Now it'd be great if the refs actually called a penalty.
Excellent use of kerfuffle.
Andrew Sullivan, $4.99. Put Chris Jones on this defense, and we are cooking with grease.
Cooking with gas or cooking with grease?
Do you want to cook with grease?
Sounds like a fire waiting to happen.
Jones.
Maybe that's good. I don't know.
Could start a fire. Cook too much grease.
A lot of money, but grease. Hey, the Bears got money.
Brian Marshall, $5. Chris Jones is a really good player. He's played a lot of football, and he's almost 30 years old. I added that. Can't see passing on the quarterback at number 2 years in a row.
Number one. That clearly is the number 1 sitting there. God, you can't read.
I know both of these guys can't read.
I'm trying to get through these fast. Shut up. Can't see passing on a quarterback at number 1 2 years in a row when the guy you have now is still a coin flip with obvious flaws.
$1 million question, Brian, but I try to emphasize to fans, just enjoy the season, root for wins, let the chips fall where they may.
Anthony, $4.99. Bears and Bulls optimism in the same week. I must be Christmas drunk already. I believe the Bears, Blackhawks, and Bulls have won 8 games in a row.
Yep.
Soon to be 9?
Yeah, we hadn't had a winning streak in this town since late September when the Cubs did it.
Yeah.
And then suddenly now all of them have one.
We're back, baby.
Jake Flanagan at our Christmas party promised that we're going to start turning it around.
Chicago teams are 5-0 since Patrick Kane started with the Red Wings, and Detroit teams are 0-5 since Patrick Kane started with the Red Wings.
Screw you, Red Wings. You suck.
Detroit sucks.
Detroit
sucks.
It's a great job by our super producer.
Loved it.
Mercedes, $4.99. My husband is torturing me and making me watch the Vikings game. At least he got to watch one good game today. Go Bears. Mercedes was.
Yeah.
She checked in the Bears Vikings game a week ago.
Keep torturing your husband.
That sounds like a lovely football game. It is now 0-0 in the 4th quarter.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
Wild.
Raiders have the ball. Let's go. Come on.
Come on, Raiders.
Come on, Aiden O'Connell.
Stevenson's
Boil her
finest.
up.
Do it for Chicago and Lincolnshire. Greg, $5.
Yes. Oh.
Greg S.
No, this is Greg. Who would win in a fight, Eberflus or a Hurricane? Trick
Flus.
question.
Flus.
The Hurricane is Flus.
Flus.
Why not? 199, and that's what we call a winning streak. Eli, 199.
Is it really a winning streak?
No,
though?
it's not. 3 is a winning streak.
Thank you.
This is back-to-back wins. What a win. I can't live like this.
You're doing it, Eli.
Yeah, you are living. David, $2. Can't wait to see Caleb in a Bears uniform.
David.
Come on,
Wait,
David.
2 games in a row is in a winning streak?
No, it's not.
Cornell, 199. Mitch was always great against the Lions.
Gotta delete a tweet.
Mitch.
That was against Matt Patricia, who would just constantly play man defense against a quarterback who couldn't read a zone to save his life.
Mitch was so good. If he was only coached right here, I mean, he's just going to take off the second he leaves here.
Who does Mitch play next week? Can it be another team the Bears need to win? Mike, $2. Fields faster.
Mitch plays Nagy next week. That was the funny thing about
really?
their next game. I'm pretty sure they play the Chiefs.
Well, the Chiefs need that. They're down 17-7. They're going to need a Mitch game. $2. Fields faster decision making after half adjusting.
They did some adjustments there, Mike. We talked about it. Something was tweaked. Damn it.
This is why I shouldn't talk. They play the Steelers, or they play the Colts next, so never mind.
So, yeah.
Everything
you were almost right, except
lie.
you're completely wrong.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Did someone say that on your spaces and you just ran with it?
Must have been Mubs.
Yeah. You Harlan, $2. A fun Sunday. Feels good to say that.
Mubs,
Bear
that
down.
jerk.
D-Tech Nation, $4.99. Credit to Lucas Patrick for snapping the ball on the 4th and 13.
Yes.
Absolutely. It takes the center to actually snap it. Philip Pizziola.
$2. Kilar plays Carm. Thanks. Grinding in here without a voice all day long. Didn't speak for 13 hours leading into today. Pizzola. Carm.
I believe that's Pizzatola.
Whatever, Pizzatola.
Pizzatola.
You don't speak just for you, Pizzatola. I'll say that.
Carm
Carm
did play hurt today, for the record. He fought through it. He's a grinder. Braggs was here too.
Yep. Working hard.
I didn't do anything. I'm just the bad guy taking down ex-Bears head coaches that I shouldn't. So
we love all you guys.
We by the way, we are still under 1,000 likes, which is really, really upsetting.
It's too bad. It means the Bears are going to lose next week, and it's your fault.
Yeah. Hit it on the way out, everyone. We appreciate every last one of you. Thank you.
And they're not losing next week. They're never losing again. Bears. Playoffs. Let's go.
Today was a lot of fun. Thank you for everyone here. Pre-game, post-game, following Nick at Soldier Field.
Chargers.
It's been a long time since the Bears had just a good win against a good team, and it was fun to talk about it. We don't get to do that very much on these post-game shows, so I enjoyed it.
And next week's going to be interesting. This is fantastic. Thank you.
Yes, it's going to be interesting December. We're going to be here. If you're just joining us for the first time for some reason, we're here every day during the week at noon. We'll be right back here tomorrow with Herb Howard, who will help us break things down after we go back and watch the film. And we're here all week long. We got Cole Kmet coming up on Tuesday. He'll be back with us.
Corey Wooten Monday night.
Corey Wooten, Bears After Dark tomorrow night.
Yep.
Wednesday, Brian Baldinger's here. We got you covered all week long. Don't go anywhere. Please hit that like button. Please hit subscribe. Please send this link off to a friend. Tell them to subscribe. They want to be right here with us these final 4 weeks of the season. We will be covering it all. And become a diehard as well. Why not? Do it now. We got a sale going on, $59.99 right now, $20 off. It'll get you just all the best coverage in your inbox, exclusive behind-the-scenes stuff, merchandise discounts.
Talk to me when I'm in my bed at night on Discord. It's fantastic.
Yeah. It gets a little weird sometimes, too, so you want to sign up for that.
I can't. I'll be in there tonight, team. Let's chat.
Guys, great job. Lawrence, thanks for producing.
First.
Casey, social media. Kevin Kaduk in the house. Barger's Beef bringing the food. We had a great day.
KC.
First back-to-back post-game wins in the CHGO era.
What? Oh, no. Is that for real? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not true, though.
Yeah, you don't remember preseason.
Come on, man.
We did it. Quit correcting everybody. God, me and Mark Trestman.
I love you both. You and Mark. I'm going to go home tonight and read Mark Trestman's book again.
There you go.
Because I love it so much. We'll talk to you.
Oh, fuck.
What's up tomorrow at noon?
That was amazing. Later.
all city like the mayor.